Chapter 3181, The Black Blood Sword Saint. The Azure Cloud Road, a path of ascending to the heavens. In any era, those who could ascend this road were all people with strong destiny. If one's destiny wasn't enough, they couldn't go far. They would either reach their limit early or perish at some point. Destiny is incredibly important for every cultivator. The origin spirit vein can suppress destiny. Building one's power on an origin spirit vein is also aimed at gathering destiny, continuously strengthening one's own destiny, and ultimately ascending to the heavens. In Lin Moyu's view, this was the meaning of the Azure Cloud Road. Entering the mist, steps appeared one after another. This was the true Azure Cloud Road. Lin Moyu could feel his destiny being absorbed by the Azure Cloud Road. After absorbing destiny, the Azure Cloud Road would manifest steps. Only with enough destiny could one stand firmly on each step. If destiny was insufficient, the steps would become intangible, and one would step into empty air. Therefore, every Celestial Fox clan member who could walk to the end and gain the ancestral spirit's recognition wasn't necessarily strong in power, but had very strong destiny. In the Celestial Fox clan, this meant they were very lucky. This was the final screening in the ancestral land, relying entirely on destiny. It also proved that the ancient Celestial Fox ancestor had mastered the Tao of Destiny, otherwise such an arrangement wouldn't be possible. Lin Moyu shared his discoveries with Su Li, who listened with great amazement. They only knew about luck, never imagining the Tao of Destiny behind it. The two levels were vastly different. What the Celestial Fox clan saw was just the tip of the iceberg. Lin Moyu had directly seen through to the essence, showing Su Li a new world. Lin Moyu said, "Your bloodline should be able to comprehend the Tao of Destiny. Humans have a saying, the one closest to the water gets the moonlight first. The Celestial Fox clan has an advantage over any other race in this aspect. Some things may require the efforts of many generations to bear fruit. If you want to restore your ancestral glory and get closer to your ancestor, some things must be done no matter how difficult." Su Li nodded, "I will remember Mr. Lin's teachings. I'll relay your words to the clan leader when we return." Lin Moyu said, "This Azure Cloud Road has been polluted. The requirement for destiny is much higher than before. You won't be able to ascend it normally." Su Li immediately asked, "What should we do?" Lin Moyu said, "Don't worry, let's keep walking for now." Lin Moyu continued to climb. Normally, from the appearance of the steps, there were 10,000 steps in total on the Azure Cloud Road. After crossing 10,000 steps, one could see the ancestral spirit. The Azure Cloud Road hadn't changed, but some of the rules inside had. Now, each step required more destiny than before. Step by step, to complete the entire Azure Cloud Road, it would consume at least 3 times more destiny than before. With this requirement, no one in the Celestial Fox clan could reach the top, not even the old clan leader Sumo. When they reached the 6,000th step, Lin Moyu stopped. "If you take another step forward, you'll step into empty air." Su Li didn't doubt Lin Moyu's words and didn't try. "Then what should we do?" Lin Moyu didn't answer, "You can try first." Su Li extended one foot, trying to step on the next step. The step that was visible to the eye was empty when he tried to step on it. He was shocked and quickly withdrew his foot. Lin Moyu said, "Perhaps you could have completed the Azure Cloud Road before, but now, you can only reach this point." The Azure Cloud Road was magical. Though it looked like everyone was walking together, each person was stepping on their own steps. The rules in the Azure Cloud Road absorbed everyone's destiny, forming steps that only that person could step on. In other words, the steps were composed of one's own destiny. Lin Moyu walked up 2 more steps. His destiny far exceeded Su Li's, so naturally, he had no problem. "Now I give you 2 choices. One is to go back, and I'll walk the rest of the way alone. 2 is to continue following me, but there might be danger ahead, and I can't guarantee your safety." Lin Moyu gave Su Li 2 choices. Lin Moyu was confident in his own abilities and had no problem protecting himself. But whether he could protect Su Li, Lin Moyu wasn't completely sure. After all, they were facing beings from the Black Blood realm, and Lin Moyu wasn't clear how strong they were. But the fact that the Black Blood realm could invade the origin continent in alliance with the Divine realm indicated that their strength wouldn't be weaker than the Outer Realm gods. Su Li didn't hesitate at all. His expression was resolute. "If Mr. Lin can take me across, I want to see with my own eyes what kind of enemy we're facing. Even if it means death, I'm willing to risk it." Lin Moyu smiled, "All right then. This is your own choice. Everyone must be responsible for their own choices. As he spoke, a hazy path appeared at Lin Moyu's feet. The Tao of Destiny manifested. Su Li saw this hazy path and felt his heart racing. His soul trembled. He exclaimed, "My bloodline is stirring. My bloodline is stirring." When Su Li saw the Tao of Destiny, his bloodline resonated with it. This resonance was very weak, but it was real and the feeling was genuine. Su Li seemed to hear a call from the deepest part of his bloodline. At this moment, he fully understood Lin Moyu's words. Their bloodline was very close to the Tao of Destiny. Their ancestor must have controlled the Tao of Destiny. The ancestor had paved the way for them, but the descendants were too useless to comprehend the Tao of Destiny. They were self-satisfied with just a bit of superficial benefit, which was actually nothing. Lin Moyu said, "This is the Tao of Destiny. Your ancestor should have comprehended it too. You can feel it carefully. I will use the Tao of Destiny to enhance your destiny, but this enhancement is temporary. It can't change anything fundamentally, just enough for you to complete the Azure Cloud Road." As he spoke, Lin Moyu pointed with his finger. An invisible force rose from the Tao of Destiny and fell on Su Li. Su Li felt something extra on him, but couldn't describe it clearly. He suddenly saw that the luck transformed into dragons on Lin Moyu had increased from 10 to several dozen. In other words, Lin Moyu's destiny had at least multiplied several times. If someone had told him before that luck transformed into dragons could have so many, he would never have believed it. But now, the fact was right before his eyes. Lin Moyu enhanced Su Li's destiny. "Let's go. Don't keep the ancestral spirit waiting." Su Li came back to his senses and instinctively took a step forward. The step that was empty before now felt solid under his foot. The two continued to climb upwards. With the boost from the Tao of Destiny, they completed the last 4,000 steps without any obstacle. Above the steps, the mist cleared, revealing a green world. Before them was a hilly area, mostly covered in green, full of small green grass, seemingly nurturing vibrant life. But the other half was occupied by black. Green and black each occupied half, clearly in mutual opposition. Where the two colors met, enormous forces collided, like two powerful armies constantly charging at each other. Terrifying shockwaves from the collisions were shooting across this land. Su Li said in a low voice, "Such powerful forces. Is this the invader?" Lin Moyu nodded, "Yes, this is the invader." He looked at the black world. In the center of that world, a black-robed figure stood in midair, holding a long, narrow sword. From the sword's tip, drops of black liquid fell like blood. The Black Blood Sword Saint. Chapter 3182, 3182. Chapter 3182, What is his background? This green land was considered a sacred existence in the words of the Celestial Fox clan members. They called this land Qingqiu, and it was said that the Celestial Fox ancestor achieved enlightenment through cultivation on this land. After achieving enlightenment, Qingqiu became the ancestral land of the Celestial Fox clan. Now, half of Qingqiu had been occupied by darkness. Anger surged in Su Li's eyes, and he was filled with killing intent. This feeling came not only from the pollution of the ancestral land but also from the Tao itself. The darkness from the Black Blood realm was despised by the Tao. When Su Li saw it, a natural feeling of disgust arose from the depths of his soul. Especially when he saw the Black Blood Sword Saint, he almost impulsively wanted to rush over and kill him. A low growl came from his mouth, and powerful forces surged within him. Lin Moyu gently patted his shoulder, "Hold fast to your Tao heart. Don't be deluded by external things. Even the Tao shouldn't become your heart demon." Lin Moyu's words were like a great bell, like thunder, exploding in Su Li's soul world. Su Li immediately came to his senses, realizing his loss of composure. He immediately guarded his Tao heart, forcibly suppressing various distracting thoughts. Lin Moyu sighed lightly, "The Tao heart is too weak." As he spoke, Lin Moyu flew towards the Black Blood Sword Saint. "Follow me, don't fall behind." Su Li immediately followed. He knew that they might face real danger soon and couldn't stray too far from Lin Moyu. It was quite inconceivable that an 8th-level Tao Venerable needed protection from a 3rd-level Tao Venerable human. "What are you doing here?" Suddenly, an authoritative voice echoed through heaven and earth. In the sky, a 1,000-meter white fox appeared. The white fox had 7 tails, was completely snow-white, and emitted a terrifying aura. Its gaze coldly regarded Lin Moyu and Su Li. Su Li's body trembled, and he immediately knelt down. Celestial Fox Clan member Su Li greets the ancestral spirit. Lin Moyu cupped his hands and said, Human Lin Moyu greets senior ancestral spirit. As the Celestial Fox Clan leader, Su Mo only had 6 tails. It was said that their ancestor had 9 tails. The number of tails was an important symbol in the Celestial Fox Clan. The higher the cultivation realm and the purer the bloodline, the more tails one would have. The ancestral spirit had 7 tails, so its status and cultivation realm were a level higher than Su Mo's. Lin Moyu could sense that the ancestral spirit had the aura of a 9th level Dao Venerable. With the rules of the ancestral land, it should be able to exert combat power beyond the 9th level Dao Venerable realm. However, that was before. Now that the rules of the ancestral land had been polluted and the origin spirit vein contaminated, it was hard to say how strong the ancestral spirit really was. The ancestral spirit directly ignored Lin Moyu and looked at Su Li. What are you doing here? Su Li said, there's a problem in the ancestral land. 2 senior clan members are trapped inside, so the clan leader sent me to take a look. After all, the ancestral land is crucial to the Celestial Fox Clan. The ancestral spirit interrupted Su Li, all right, since you're here, you're here. Follow me. The ancestral spirit turned and flew away, never acknowledging Lin Moyu, as if he didn't exist. After all, whether a 3rd level Dao Venerable human was present or not really made no difference. Su Li looked at Lin Moyu apologetically, Mr. Lin, shall we go over as well? Lin Moyu wasn't concerned about the ancestral spirit's attitude, your family's ancestral spirit is quite proud. Let's go, it's good to take a look. After all, this ancestral spirit had been dealing with the Black Blood realm for so many years and should know some information. Following the ancestral spirit, the 2 crossed Qingzhou and arrived at a lakeside. The lake rippled with blue-green water, reflecting mysterious waves of light. There were a few small wooden cabins nearby, making the whole scene look harmonious. But the black sky in the distance reflected in the lake water shattered this harmony. By the lake, 2 Celestial Fox Clan members were sitting there. Lin Moyu could see from afar that both were Dao Venerable realm powerhouses. Needless to say, these were the 2 prospective clan leaders trapped here. They were called Su Jin and Su Shen, 2 brothers. Su Jin was the older brother, and Su Shen was the younger. If either of them could gain the ancestral spirit's recognition, they would be qualified to become the clan leader, and Su Mo could retire with honor. Unfortunately, both were now trapped here. Both men looked up at the same time. When they saw Su Li, they frowned simultaneously. They naturally recognized Su Li, Su Mo's grandson, who was also a rare genius in the clan and might be a future clan leader candidate. Then, when they saw Lin Moyu, they showed strange expressions. The ancestral spirit flew down to the lakeside, its huge body rapidly changing into an old man with white hair and white clothes. Except for the 7 tails that still existed, in all other aspects, it was no different from a human. After landing, Su Li immediately bowed to the 2 men. Su Li greets the 2 clan uncles. Su Jin asked, what are you doing here? Su Li said, the clan leader was worried about the 2 clan uncles, and grandfather wanted to resolve the crisis in the ancestral land, so he sent Mr. Lin to help. I'm here accompanying Mr. Lin. Mr. Lin, the 2 looked at Lin Moyu, a little 3rd level Dao Venerable fellow, actually being called, Mr. However, Su Li said that Su Mo had sent this Mr. Lin to help, so clearly Su Mo had confidence in him. Both men greatly respected Su Mo. Since Su Mo had done this, they naturally would give face. Lin Moyu cupped his hands and said, Human Lin Moyu greets the 2 seniors. Su Jin said, since the clan leader calls you, Mr., you must have extraordinary abilities. Celestial Fox Clan Su Jin greets Mr. Lin. Su Shen also said, Su Shen greets Mr. Lin. Although they called him, Mr., it was clear they didn't take Lin Moyu seriously. The ancestral spirit looked at Lin Moyu and Su Li. Several humans came before, but they all died in the 10,000 Flower Valley. Your luck is good to have made it through the 10,000 Flower Valley. Lin Moyu said, why doesn't Senior mention the 10 Directions Forest? The ancestral spirit said, I had already taken away the creatures above the 7th level in the 10 Directions Forest. With this little one here, you naturally could pass through. At this moment, Su Li's expression was a bit strange, as if he wanted to say something but didn't. The 10 Directions Forest had been completely leveled, not even debris remained, yet the ancestral spirit knew nothing about it. Clearly, this ancestral spirit had completely lost control over the 10 Directions forest. It couldn't even control the 10,000 Flower Valley and the Flower of Destiny. This meant that the ancestral spirit had lost control over the ancestral land. Lin Moyu sighed. It seems the situation is more serious than imagined. At least 70% of the origin spirit vein has been polluted. The ancestral spirit's gaze suddenly focused. How do you know? Lin Moyu looked at Su Li. You explain it. I'll take a look at the formation ahead. It seems the current one won't work. Saying this, Lin Moyu ignored the shocked ancestral spirit and flew directly towards the front. Ahead was a formation group composed of 1,000 formations forming a whole. The level of the formation creator was very high. Individual formations weren't strong, but when combined, their power increased significantly. Although he hadn't personally experienced the power of the formation, he could roughly sense that its power should be around the 8th level Dao Venerable realm. Among the formations Lin Moyu had seen, it was second only to the ceiling formation at the bottom of the realm sea. Lin Moyu guessed that this formation group must be the work of a great Dao realm powerhouse. Su Li detailed their experiences since entering, emphasizing Lin Moyu's analysis of the entire ancestral land situation, and also added some of his own opinions. The ancestral spirit, Su Jin, and Su Shen listened with wide eyes and open mouths. The 10 Directions forest had actually been destroyed, yet they still passed the test. The ancestral spirit said in a low voice, "What is his background?" Chapter 3183, 3183. Chapter 3183, Tell me what you know. In Su Li's words, Lin Moyu's various actions were almost deified. Especially when he mentioned that Lin Moyu had comprehended the Tao of Destiny, it startled the ancestral spirit. The ancestral spirit's expression at that moment was incredibly complex. As the spirit of the ancestral land created by the celestial fox ancestor, the ancestral spirit was most familiar with the ancestor. It knew clearly that what the celestial fox ancestor had comprehended was the Tao of Destiny, and it understood the true meaning of the ancestral land's existence. The celestial fox ancestor used the ancestral land to test the luck of the celestial fox clan members. Only those with the strongest luck would have a chance to comprehend the Tao of Destiny. But this was something it wouldn't tell, it would only inform a few clan leaders. Unfortunately, through so many generations of clan leaders, not a single one had comprehended the Tao of Destiny. After hearing Su Li's words, the expressions of Su Jin and Su Shen were equally complex. The elder brother, Su Jin, said in a low voice, "According to what you say, Mr. Lin isn't just called, Sir, by our clan leader, but other royal clan leaders also address him as, Sir." Su Li nodded. "Before, I also thought that Mr. Lin was only at the 3rd level Dao Venerable realm. How strong could he be? It wasn't until we entered the ancestral land that I witnessed Mr. Lin's miracles and realized that sometimes one really can't measure by cultivation level alone." Su Shen said, "I hope this Mr. Lin is really as strong as you say, able to resolve the crisis in the ancestral land." Su Li had extreme confidence in Lin Moyu. He definitely can. Boom! The world suddenly darkened. The previously distinct darkness suddenly began to spread towards Qingzhou. The ancestral spirit said in a low voice, "It's starting again. Prepare to resist." Su Jin and Su Shen made a sound of acknowledgement and returned to their original positions. The ancestral spirit waved its hand, and 2 formations descended, landing precisely on the 2 of them. These formations resonated with the distant formation group. Su Jin and Su Shen controlled the formations, activating the distant formation group. Their power, using these 2 formations as a link, continuously flowed towards the formation group. The formation group emitted dazzling light, which transformed into giant hands, dispersing the encroaching darkness. The entire process was familiar to them, clearly having been done countless times. Lin Moyu watched the activated formation group. Within the formation group, there were numerous living beings. Without exception, all these beings were at or above the 7th level Dao Venerable realm. They should have been in the 10 Directions forest before, increasing the obstacles for the Celestial Fox clan members entering the ancestral land. But now they were here, providing power for the formation. The entire set of formations was controlled by the brothers Su Jin and Su Shen, who commanded them, but a significant part of the formation's power came from the numerous beings within the formation group. These beings were clearly under the command of the ancestral spirit. Indeed, it's a good formation group, but this alone is not enough. After watching for a moment, Lin Moyu had a general understanding in his heart. At this time, the ancestral spirit flew over to Lin Moyu's side. Mr. Lin, what do you think of this? The ancestral spirit also addressed Lin Moyu as Sir, which surprised Lin Moyu a bit. He knew Su Li must have said something. Otherwise, given the ancestral spirit's proud demeanor, how could it be so polite to him? Lin Moyu said, this is a good formation, and the idea is good, but a prolonged defense will eventually fail. Purely defending will one day be unable to hold. I think, initially, the formation group wasn't here, and at that time, that fellow hadn't occupied so much space. The ancestral spirit was silent for several seconds before slowly saying, is there anything else? Lin Moyu smiled, of course there is. What we see now is just the surface phenomenon. Even if you block the dark erosion here, you're helpless against what's happening in the origin spirit vein. As the spirit of the ancestral land, you can manipulate the rules within, but now your power is gradually weakening. So to solve the problem from the root, we need to start with the origin spirit vein. His demeanor was full of confidence, a confidence that came from the soul, making Lin Moyu's words extremely convincing. The ancestral spirit said, I understand what you're saying. The key is how to solve it. Lin Moyu said, to solve a problem, we naturally need to understand its essence first. So I have a few questions. I hope you can answer them truthfully so I can think of an appropriate solution. The ancestral spirit said, ask away. I'll tell you what I know. Lin Moyu looked towards the deepest part of the darkness. There, a black blood sword saint stood motionless, holding a blood-dripping sword, seemingly still in slumber, not yet awakened. His existence gave Lin Moyu a strong sense of disgust, originating from the Tao and emanating from the soul, identical to facing the outer realm gods. Lin Moyu was experienced. From this disgust alone, he could sense the opponent's strength. Currently, it seemed the opponent's strength was still within the Tao Venerable realm, not yet surpassing it. Otherwise, the ancestral spirit and others wouldn't have been able to hold out for so long. Lin Moyu said, you see that black-robed swordsman, right? The ancestral spirit nodded. It had encountered the opponent many times and naturally knew. Lin Moyu said, then you should also know that he comes from the black blood realm, right? I don't know what you call him, but I call him the black blood sword saint. The ancestral spirit showed a hint of surprise, you actually know about the black blood realm. Lin Moyu said, I learned about it by chance, but that's not the main point. What I really want to ask is, what's the story with that celestial fox clan member behind the black blood sword saint? The shock on the ancestral spirit's face could no longer be hidden. Its tone quickly rose, you even know about that. Lin Moyu said, that's not important either. Please tell me what you know. Only then can we solve the problem from its root. The ancestral spirit finally realized that Lin Moyu was even more incredible than Su Li had described. Just knowing about the Black Blood realm was already extraordinary, but he could even see the Celestial Fox clan member in the deepest darkness. Su Li wanted to ask how he could see that. But Lin Moyu had also said that this wasn't important. What was truly important now was how to solve the problem. Lin Moyu looked at the ancestral spirit, waiting for its answer. After a moment of silence, the ancestral spirit slowly said, the Celestial Fox clan member you see is actually a servant of the Celestial Fox ancestor. When the Celestial Fox ancestor achieved enlightenment, entered the Great Tao realm, gained immortality, and created the Celestial Fox ancestral land. At that time, he had a servant named Suku. Suku became the first clan leader of the Celestial Fox clan. But Suku's talent was limited, and he could never enter the Great Tao realm, which he was very unwilling to accept. So he exhausted all methods to try to enter the Great Tao realm. I'm not clear on the specifics. At that time, I had just been born and didn't have as much control over the ancestral land as later. I only know that he disappeared for a long time, about several 100,000 years. When he returned, he was already at the pseudo-Great Tao realm. Although the pseudo-Great Tao realm isn't the Great Tao realm, barring accidents, it could last for a long time. But at that time, he did have an accident. When he returned, he was severely injured and near death. So he went into slumber to heal in the ancestral land, sleeping for countless years. Starting from some unknown year, black chi began to emanate from his body. By the time I discovered it, the black chi had already polluted the origin spirit vein. I wanted to clean it, but found I was powerless to do so. But I didn't do nothing. For all these years, I've been trying my best to nurture Celestial Fox clan members, hoping for someone to comprehend the Tao of Destiny and inherit the ancestors' bloodline. Only this way could we solve this trouble. But unfortunately, Chapter 3184, 3184. Chapter 3184, The Celestial Fox Ancestors Backup Plan. The ancestral spirit explained in detail, basically telling everything it knew, including some secrets of the Celestial Fox clan. Lin Moyu listened carefully and analyzed the description, roughly understanding the situation. Years ago, the servant of the Celestial Fox ancestor, the first clan leader of the Celestial Fox clan, exhausted all methods and traveled to many places in pursuit of the Great Tao realm. Presumably, some of these methods weren't very good. Later, he finally obtained the immortality he had dreamed of, entering the pseudo-Great Tao realm. The so-called Great Tao realm was actually similar to the method currently sold by the three ancestors. It could break through the 9th level Tao Venerable realm, no longer being limited by the lifespan of the Tao Venerable realm, and the strength was also somewhat stronger than the 9th level Tao Venerable. But it wasn't the true Great Tao realm, belonging to the bottom tier of the Great Tao realm. Moreover, even the Great Tao realm couldn't truly achieve immortality. Accidents could still lead to death, let alone the pseudo-Great Tao realm, which was even weaker. Once one became a pseudo-Great Tao realm, it was basically impossible to advance further in this lifetime. It was a foolish method of forcing growth and cutting off one's roots. It was only chosen when there was no other way out. At that time, after Su Pu became a pseudo-Great Tao realm, he was severely injured and returned to the ancestral land, using the spirit veins in the ancestral land to heal. Unexpectedly, he carried black blood from the black blood realm on his body. Unknowingly, the black blood polluted the spirit veins in the ancestral land. By the time the ancestral spirit discovered it, it was too late. Although the ancestral spirit was the spirit of the ancestral land, it only had management rights, not control rights. This was especially true for the origin spirit vein under the ancestral land. The ancestral spirit could borrow power from the origin spirit vein, but it couldn't refine the origin spirit vein, so it had no way to deal with the black blood. Things became increasingly troublesome later. The black blood regenerated through the origin spirit vein, evolving into the black blood sword saint. This was also the most troublesome aspect of the black blood realm. They were like a stubborn disease, very difficult to truly clean up. Just one drop of blood could continuously grow and strengthen, eventually becoming a calamity. After finishing, the ancestral spirit looked intently at Lin Moyu. That's how things are. Can you think of a solution? Lin Moyu looked at the half-black, half-green Qingqiu world. At this moment, the darkness had been pushed back, and the surroundings were returning to calm. The invasion of darkness was just a surface phenomenon. The true root was in the origin spirit vein. Mist appeared in Lin Moyu's eyes as the Tao of Destiny had unknowingly raised his destiny to the extreme. At the same time, in his soul world, a drop of silver tree sap was consumed by his soul, instantly making his soul's thoughts clear. His eyes gleamed with divine light, searching for something in the world. After a moment, the corners of his mouth lifted slightly. The celestial fox ancestor, worthy of being one who comprehended the Tao of Destiny, is indeed extraordinary. The ancestral spirit's eyes lit up. Have you thought of a solution? Lin Moyu smiled and said, it's not that I've thought of a solution, but that the celestial fox ancestor had foreseen this and prepared a backup plan early on. The ancestral spirit was stunned. The ancestor prepared a backup plan. Lin Moyu smiled. You don't understand the Tao of Destiny, so you won't understand what it can see. The celestial fox ancestor must have seen something, predicting some possible future events, so he prepared a backup plan. If you really could nurture a celestial fox clan member who comprehends the Tao of Destiny, it could indeed solve the current crisis, but not in the way you imagined, like refining the origin spirit vein. Instead, it's about activating the backup plan left by the celestial fox ancestor to solve this problem. The celestial fox ancestor was truly powerful, and also very intelligent, much smarter than many great Tao realm beings. The ancestral spirit quickly asked, what kind of backup plan did the ancestor leave? Lin Moyu smiled, we'll know soon. Before that, I need you to take me to where the origin spirit vein is located. Although Lin Moyu could find the location of the origin spirit vein himself, it would take considerable time. Having the ancestral spirit lead the way would be much more convenient. The ancestral spirit didn't doubt Lin Moyu. Please follow me. Although the origin spirit vein was the most crucial and important part of the ancestral land, it trusted Lin Moyu. After all, no matter what, the situation couldn't get worse than it already was. The ancestral spirit led Lin Moyu back to the lakeside. Its 7 tails suddenly enlarged, heavily slapping the lake surface. The lake surface churned up waves, parting to reveal a wide passage. The ancestral spirit flew into the passage, its 7 tails continuously slapping, stirring up waves of powerful force to maintain the passage. Lin Moyu followed the ancestral spirit into the lake. The fox and the human slowly sank, quickly reaching the lake bottom. At the bottom of the lake was a formation flickering with faint light. The ancestral spirit said, "We need to pass through this formation to reach the origin spirit vein." Lin Moyu nodded and directly walked into the formation. The ancestral spirit also entered the formation and activated it. After a brief teleportation, Lin Moyu arrived at the location of the origin spirit vein. The origin spirit vein was deeply buried underground, maintaining contact with the outside world while existing in an independent space. If one were to dig straight down from the surface, they wouldn't find the origin spirit vein even if they dug through the entire earth. Only through some special methods could one enter the independent space where the origin spirit vein was located. A strong aura of origin essence rushed towards them, mixed with a repulsive odor. Lin Moyu looked at the complex and massive origin spirit vein before him. This origin spirit vein is of a very high grade. The ancestral spirit said, "It's an 8th grade origin spirit vein, personally buried by the ancestor back then." What a pity. Lin Moyu sighed lightly. The origin spirit vein displayed a gorgeous color, indescribable in specific terms. But now, there was an additional black hue in the origin spirit vein. Dense blackness covered the surface of the origin spirit vein, occupying a large area. The entire origin spirit vein was covered with black in many places, about 60–70% of it. Lin Moyu asked, "Can we find the main vein?" The ancestral spirit nodded, "We can, but it's not easy to approach the main vein now." Implying that the situation of the main vein was even worse, to the point where they couldn't even get close. The Black Blood Realm beings, regenerating through the origin spirit vein, would naturally set up good defenses. Lin Moyu said, "It's all right, take me there." The ancestral spirit led Lin Moyu through the origin spirit vein, quickly arriving at the location of the main vein. In the main vein, black light was dense. Clusters of black blood fell like waterfalls on the main vein, continuously irrigating it in a cycle. The power of the Black Blood Realm was thus constantly eroding the origin spirit vein. As Lin Moyu approached, clusters of black blood suddenly transformed, becoming miniature versions of the Black Blood Sword Saint. Although small in size, their power was not weak. Each was at least at the 7th level Dao Venerable realm. Most crucially, their number was astonishing, roughly counting to tens of thousands. Even a 9th level Dao Venerable would have to think twice when facing tens of thousands of 7th level Dao Venerables, though it wasn't impossible to resolve. The ancestral spirit explained, "These Black Blood Sword Saints are evolved using the power of the origin spirit vein. They can't be completely killed off. Previously, I came with the brothers Su Jin and Su Shen, trying to clean up the black blood here, but we ultimately failed. The large number wasn't the problem, the key was that they couldn't be completely eliminated. Even a 9th level Dao Venerable couldn't endure it. Now that the 8th grade origin spirit vein had become an aid to the Black Blood Sword Saints, it was indeed difficult to deal with." Lin Moyu looked into the depths of the origin spirit vein, as if searching for something. He didn't approach closer. The miniature Black Blood Sword Saints were only on guard and didn't initiate an attack. After a brief standoff, Lin Moyu suddenly spoke, "Found it." Chapter 3185, 3185. Chapter 3185, "You can't regenerate faster than I can kill." Lin Moyu took action, his hands moving to draw runes. The runes weren't complex, in fact, they were quite simple. Even someone who had never encountered runes before could successfully draw them with a bit of practice. The difficulty was that these runes had to be drawn using the Tao of Destiny. The entire rune consisted of just a few strokes, emitting a special hazy aura. In the blink of an eye, the rune was completed. Lin Moyu pushed it gently, and it floated slowly towards the depths of the origin spirit vein. The miniature Black Blood Sword Saints immediately reacted, swinging their swords at the rune. Their swords passed through the rune without any effect. It was as if they existed in different dimensions, with no intersection between them. The rune was purely illusory, while the power of the small Black Blood Sword Saints was a real attack, naturally unable to touch it. If it hadn't been condensed into the form of a rune, they wouldn't even be able to see it. The rune smoothly reached its destination, ignoring the black blood covering the main vein and merging into the spirit vein. The ancestral spirit stared intently at this scene, watching the rune descend and then seeing no further movement. The ancestral spirit couldn't help but ask, did it not work? Lin Moyu smiled and said, don't rush, give it some time. After being dormant for many years, even if it's reviving, it needs a moment. The ancestral spirit said, I'm not in a hurry, but these fellows are clearly anxious. After failing to deal with the rune, a large number of small black blood sword saints finally targeted Lin Moyu and the ancestral spirit. The ancestral spirit wasn't afraid. Although its power was limited, it didn't need to worry. Unless it wanted to die here, it could leave at any time. As for Lin Moyu, the ancestral spirit felt it could protect him. But it saw that Lin Moyu's demeanor showed no concern at all. Swoosh! The small black blood sword saints transformed into 10,000 black lights, rushing towards Lin Moyu. Be careful, the ancestral spirit shouted lightly. Before it could act, a burst of fire rose to the sky, forming a sea of flames that engulfed the first wave of small black blood sword saints. Space distorted, and the skeletal hell appeared beside Lin Moyu. The sea of fire boiled, and the world of the origin spirit vein instantly became a domain of flames. These small black blood sword saints were quickly burned to death. But as they died, the origin spirit vein rumbled, and a large number of new small black blood sword saints appeared. For each one that died, a new one appeared, seemingly endless. At the same time, black light burst from the origin spirit vein, immediately suppressing the flames. The ancestral spirit said, this is how it is. Not only can they not be completely killed, but the origin spirit vein also helps them suppress your power. Lin Moyu chuckled lightly, interesting. Purple lightning flashed as the lightning lich made its first appearance. Its small body was wrapped in pure lightning, looking somewhat noble. Then, a lightning Dao appeared. The lightning Dao was the source of all lightning-based Daos, from which all lightning-based Daos evolved and were governed. Similarly, all lightning-based Daos contained the origin power of the lightning Dao. Summoning the elemental lich used a fragment of the purple lightning Dao, but it pointed directly to the source, obtaining the power of the lightning Dao. Empowered by the lightning Dao, the lightning lich's power increased. Although still at the 7th level Dao Venerable realm, it was very close to the 8th level, much stronger than the small black blood sword saints. Technique: Chain Lightning. A bolt of lightning appeared in the firelight, striking one of the small black blood sword saints. After hitting the first small black blood sword saint, the chain lightning quickly split, from 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, striking at the other small black blood sword saints. In an instant, lightning erupted violently, illuminating the entire space of the origin spirit vein. In less than half a second, tens of thousands of small black blood sword saints were all hit by lightning attacks, and the power didn't diminish at all. Each small black blood sword saint received exactly the same attack. In just a moment, all the small black blood sword saints were completely wiped out. Lin Moyu clapped his hands, all clean. The effect of chain lightning was unexpectedly good, and Lin Moyu was very satisfied. Empowered by the lightning Dao, chain lightning could severely injure ordinary 7th level Dao Venerables. For those weaker 7th level ancestors, it might even be an instant kill. Moreover, Lin Moyu could use ancestral water and faith to further enhance chain lightning's power. He estimated that chain lightning's power could reach the 8th level Dao Venerable realm, instantly killing most 7th level Dao Venerables. Chain lightning and the 5 elements sword demon's 5 elements sword C each had their advantages. One was for multi-point kills, while the 5 elements sword C was for large-scale indiscriminate attacks. Used in combination, they could greatly enhance combat flexibility. The ancestral spirit stared blankly. What technique is this? Lin Moyu smiled and said, a very practical technique. Seeing that Lin Moyu wouldn't elaborate, the ancestral spirit didn't ask further. After instantly clearing out the small black blood sword saints, black light surged in the origin spirit vein, once again evolving a large number of small black blood sword saints. At this moment, another chain lightning struck, giving these small black blood sword saints no time to prepare, directly taking them out. Unlike the 5 elements sword C, which could only be used once an hour, chain lightning could be used repeatedly. As for how many times it could be used, even Lin Moyu didn't know. In any case, several hundred times was no problem, enough to buy time. Wave after wave of small black blood sword saints evolved, and wave after wave were eliminated by chain lightning. This continued for a full 10 minutes, eliminating who knows how many small black blood sword saints. Finally, the rune Lin Moyu had placed in the origin spirit vein took effect. The origin spirit vein suddenly began to shake, emitting rumbling sounds. A hazy mist emanated from the origin spirit vein, quickly enveloping the entire space. The space shattered, and countless soil appeared around. The origin spirit vein returned from its independent space to reality. Under the mist's cover, the black light receded, no longer evolving small black blood sword saints. The power of the black blood realm was suppressed by the mist. The ancestral spirit was incredibly surprised, as this the backup plan left by the ancestor. Lin Moyu said, "Yes, this is the power of the Tao of Destiny, left in the origin spirit vein by the celestial fox ancestor back then. It's one of the final measures. It seems your ancestor has truly perished." The ancestral spirit asked, "Why do you say that?" Lin Moyu said, "I just sensed that this origin spirit vein is now ownerless. If your ancestor were still around, the origin spirit vein should be in an owned state, and it wouldn't have been so easy for the black blood realm to pollute it." The ancestral spirit sighed. The ancestor did say back then that he would face a great tribulation. It seems he didn't overcome it. Lin Moyu said, "Even great Tao realm beings aren't truly immortal. I've seen several great Tao realm beings perish. You'll get used to it. Alright, the origin spirit vein has revived. There's still more to do. Let's see if your ancestor's methods can completely eliminate this annoying pest." As Lin Moyu spoke, he shot up into the sky, breaking through the thick layer of soil and bursting out of the lake. At this time, the Qingqiu land was also covered in mist, but the mist only occupied half, while the other half was enveloped in darkness. Lin Moyu's hands moved continuously, drawing rune after rune. A large number of runes flew towards the sky. Some runes flew into the darkness. The power contained in the darkness couldn't stop the illusory runes. The entire sky suddenly lit up, and more mist surged out. In the mist, a golden nine-tailed celestial fox appeared. Chapter 3186, 3186. Chapter 3186, An unexpected turn of events. Great Ancestor! Great Ancestor! Seeing the nine-tailed celestial fox appear in the mist, the ancestral spirit trembled violently, instantly transforming into a celestial fox and flying into the sky, prostrating itself before the nine-tailed celestial fox. Not just him, but Su Jin, Su Shen, and Su Li also transformed into their original forms and knelt before the nine-tailed celestial fox. Its body shimmering with silver light, exuding nobility, with 9 tails, this was the image of their ancestor. The nine-tailed celestial fox raised its head and let out a long howl. The mist immediately began to churn violently. The black world formed by the black blood realm collided with the mist, like the clash of water and fire, erupting in violent tremors. Powerful forces surged wildly through this ancestral land called Qingqiu. Endless mist continuously spread towards the black world, as if to drive out this uninvited guest. At the same time, the mist also enveloped the origin spirit vein, dispersing the black blood within it. This was the Tao of Destiny belonging to the celestial fox ancestor, his final measure left here. He had once foreseen that the celestial fox clan would face great tribulation, so he left this measure. The two forces collided violently, shaking the entire ancestral land. In the dark world, the black blood sword saint slowly opened his eyes. His cold, merciless blood-colored gaze fell upon the celestial fox ancestor. The celestial fox ancestor continued to howl, staring intently at the opponent. Then the black blood sword saint looked at Lin Moyu, and suddenly a voice rang out, "You should die." Lin Moyu sneered, "I don't know if I should die, but you should go and die." The celestial fox ancestor suddenly charged forward mid-howl, transforming into a silver light, moving at an astonishing speed, killing its way into the dark world. Silver light burst from its body, and darkness retreated wherever it passed, shattering space layer by layer. The black blood sword saint suddenly swung his sword, slashing out countless blood-colored sword lights. The celestial fox ancestor neither dodged nor evaded, allowing the sword lights to strike its body. Its huge body instantly became illusory, and the blood-colored sword lights passed through its body without effect. The celestial fox ancestor instantly passed through the sword lights, arriving before the black blood sword saint, and bit down. This time, the celestial fox ancestor changed from illusory to solid, biting down firmly. Bang! Half of the black blood sword saint's body exploded, and he retreated in a sorry state. As he retreated, the Black Blood Sword Saint's body rapidly recovered, returning to normal in the blink of an eye. The people of the Black Blood realm had extremely fast recovery speeds. This was their characteristic. This characteristic was somewhat similar to the Outer Realm gods, but the Black Blood realm's recovery speed was faster, and they were harder to kill. As long as a single drop of blood remained, they could find a way to revive. For Outer Realm gods, it was difficult to injure them, but once their defense was broken, there wasn't much difference. The Celestial Fox Ancestor forcefully tore through the dark world, chasing the Black Blood Sword Saint again. Its 9 huge tails directly lashed out. With a tremendous sound, the Black Blood Sword Saint's entire body exploded, turning into countless drops of black blood. At this moment, the Celestial Fox Ancestor suddenly spewed out a large amount of mist. The black blood made sizzling sounds in the mist, rapidly dissolving. A large amount of black blood frantically fled, evolving into small Black Blood Sword Saints along the way. Then the small Black Blood Sword Saints combined again, turning back into the large Black Blood Sword Saint. But the Celestial Fox Ancestor caught up again, its 9 tails lashing out like lightning, once more shattering the Black Blood Sword Saint. The entire battle was one-sided, with the Black Blood Sword Saint completely outmatched by the Celestial Fox Ancestor, being utterly suppressed. The Ancestor is so strong. The ancestral spirit watched the Celestial Fox Ancestor suppress the Black Blood Sword Saint, its eyes filled with admiration. Su Li and the other 2 were equally excited. This was the Celestial Fox Ancestor, a truly legendary existence. Being able to witness its battle firsthand was a lifetime's honor. Even though what they saw now was just a measure left behind by the Celestial Fox Ancestor, it was still the Celestial Fox Ancestor. Lin Moyu observed all this, his heart also somewhat shaken. The measure left behind by the Celestial Fox Ancestor should still be at the 9th level Dao Venerable realm, perhaps at the peak of the 9th level, but definitely hasn't broken through the 9th level. However, its understanding of the Dao is too profound. Using the Dao of Destiny, it shifts between illusion and reality, and predicts the opponent's movements, thus controlling every step of the opponent. Lin Moyu understood the Dao of Destiny, so he saw more clearly, understanding the principles behind it. The shifting between illusion and reality and predicting the future of the Dao of Destiny were the root reasons why the Celestial Fox Ancestor could suppress the opponent. While observing the battle, Lin Moyu was also learning. Regardless of what realm the measure left by the Celestial Fox Ancestor was at, its battle experience was real. Lin Moyu could learn a lot from it. From the Celestial Fox Ancestor's fighting style, it was clear that it was very skilled in combat, striking fast, accurately, and ruthlessly, giving the opponent no chance to counterattack. Once it gained the upper hand, it would press the advantage to the death. Compared to the current Celestial Fox clan, their combat power was not even in the same league. The current Celestial Fox clan was known for not being good at fighting, but the Celestial Fox Ancestor was not like this. I really don't know what you've lost. No wonder you have the bloodline but can't comprehend the Dao of Destiny. Combat is the most important ability for survival in this world. You've taken the wrong path. Lin Moyu sighed inwardly. Through generations of inheritance, the Celestial Fox clan was becoming weaker because they had taken the wrong path. They abandoned combat and only pursued luck. Although this made the Celestial Fox clan's destiny flourish and produced many powerful individuals. These powerful individuals had lost the sharpness of true strength. So the Celestial Fox clan lacked combat power, and their Dao hearts were very fragile. Only a few would go to the fox-tail sword to temper their Dao hearts. Lin Moyu's gaze swept over the ancestral spirit and the 3 others. They were watching the battle between the Celestial Fox Ancestor and the Black Blood Sword Saint, not noticing Lin Moyu's actions. I hope you can understand, Lin Moyu thought to himself. He couldn't tell Sumo that their race had taken the wrong path. He wasn't the Beast Emperor, nor was he the Celestial Fox Ancestor. What right did an outsider have to say such things? Moreover, setting aside the desire to help others and respecting others' destinies had always been Lin Moyu's principle. If he hadn't seen the black blood this time, Lin Moyu wouldn't have come. The black blood was repeatedly scattered, its power growing weaker and weaker. The black blood force in the origin spirit vein was also mostly dispersed, and the darkness could no longer receive sufficient replenishment. In the struggle for the origin spirit vein, the black blood realm was also at a disadvantage. The origin spirit vein originally belonged to the Celestial Fox Ancestor. As an outsider, the black blood realm naturally couldn't compete with the Celestial Fox Ancestor. The Black Blood Sword Saint grew weaker and weaker, increasingly unable to withstand the onslaught. If nothing unexpected happens, it should end soon. But why do I feel like something unexpected is about to happen? Suddenly, a black light shot down from the depths of Qingqiu towards the Celestial Fox Ancestor. The Celestial Fox Ancestor seemed to have anticipated this situation, its paw striking out in advance, dispersing the black light. However, because of this, its fierce attack on the Black Blood Sword Saint paused for a moment. The Black Blood Sword Saint roared in anger, his body exploding with blood light. Powerful forces surged, forcibly pushing back the Celestial Fox Ancestor. He took the opportunity to transform into a line of blood, flying towards the depths of Qingqiu. The Celestial Fox Ancestor didn't pursue, only coldly watching the depths of Qingqiu. This sudden turn of events surprised the ancestral spirit and the others. Lin Moyu smiled slightly. Indeed, something unexpected has occurred. His spiritual perception once again proved useful, confirming that something unexpected had indeed happened. The mist continued to surge, occupying more territory, reclaiming all the areas previously taken by the Black Blood Sword Saint. The black blood force on the origin spirit vein was also retreating, the origin spirit vein returning to its original state, and the entire Qingqiu was recovering. The Celestial Fox Ancestor stared at the depths of Qingqiu, its large eyes extremely sharp. From the depths of Qingqiu, another equally large celestial fox flew out. It was completely black, with 8 tails swaying slowly behind it in the air. The black celestial fox emitted an even stronger power than the Celestial Fox Ancestor, seemingly having broken through the 9th level Dao Venerable realm. The Black Blood Sword Saint stood on its head, his sword pointing at the Celestial Fox Ancestor. Chapter 3187, 3187. Chapter 3187, The Grudge of a Grain of Rice. Su Pu, once the servant of the Celestial Fox Ancestor, became the first clan leader of the Celestial Fox clan after the ancestor achieved enlightenment. This shows that Su Pu was highly trusted by the Celestial Fox Ancestor. However, later on, in pursuit of the Great Dao Realm, he traveled to many places and did many things. What exactly he did and where he went, no one knows. In the end, he became a pseudo-Great Dao Realm being, returning severely injured to enter a deep slumber in the ancestral land. Because of his special status, even the ancestral spirit had no authority over him. Unexpectedly, he brought back black blood, laying the roots for today's disaster. Now, Su Pu had become a being of the Black Blood realm, opposing the Celestial Fox Ancestor. Of course, the Celestial Fox Ancestor before them was not the true Celestial Fox Ancestor but merely an incarnation left behind by him, containing a trace of the Celestial Fox Ancestor's will. Regardless, it was still something left by the Celestial Fox Ancestor. As Su Pu, he should show some respect for it. Lin Moyu observed that there was a killing intent in Su Pu's eyes as he looked at the Celestial Fox Ancestor, as if he were looking at an enemy. If he had already been polluted by the Black Blood realm and completely lost himself, it would be understandable. But Lin Moyu could see that there was still rationality in his eyes. Su Pu retained his rationality yet harbored such hatred for his former master. This was quite intriguing. The Celestial Fox Ancestor looked at Su Pu without saying a word. Clearly, this incarnation from the Celestial Fox Ancestor had already recognized Su Pu. The Black Blood Sword Saint looked at the Celestial Fox Ancestor and said coldly, "Your true body was slain long ago. This incarnation is your last trace in this world. Unfortunately, after today, even that trace will be erased." The Black Blood Sword Saint didn't attack immediately. Lin Moyu could tell he was recovering. Speaking was just a way to buy time. The Celestial Fox Ancestor remained silent as well, staring at Su Pu as if asking why. He clearly didn't care about the Black Blood Sword Saint. The ancestral spirit flew to the side of the Celestial Fox Ancestor and shouted at Su Pu, "Su Pu, you are the servant of the ancestor. How dare you think of attacking him? Do you know what crime you are committing?" Su Li and the other two also approached the Celestial Fox Ancestor, staring intently at Su Pu. Between the first clan leader and the ancestor, they decisively chose to stand with the Celestial Fox Ancestor. A flowing clan leader versus an ironclad ancestor. Anyone who wasn't foolish would know how to choose. Su Pu looked at the ancestral spirit with disdain in his eyes. "What are you? Just a mere lackey spirit. You're nothing and dare to speak to me like this." When he achieved the Great Dao and gained immortality, he clearly had the ability to help me reach enlightenment but chose not to. He said I should become clan leader when in reality he just wanted to use me to manage his power and gather destiny. I traveled across realms and even risked going beyond this world to find opportunities and achieve greatness. Though severely injured, as long as I achieved my great Tao status, I would be immortal and could recover from any injury. It was only after achieving my great Tao status that I realized why he didn't help me reach enlightenment. It was because he didn't want me to share in his destiny. I once swore that once I achieved enlightenment, I would exterminate all of his descendants. He created Qingqiu and appointed you as a spirit. Do you think he wanted to cultivate Celestial Fox clan members? You know nothing. He anticipated that he would face a great calamity and left himself a backup plan. This Qingqiu ancestral land is his source for future resurrection. To revive, not a chance. I will eradicate your entire clan and sever his destiny so that he can never resurrect. As soon as Suku spoke, his voice was filled with deep hatred. This hatred had accumulated over countless years, becoming an obsession that occupied his soul, deep-rooted and unchangeable. The power of the Black Blood realm only needed to guide his hatred slightly, it didn't even need to pollute him. Because his heart had long been tainted. Lin Moyu watched all this unfold and had analyzed most of it already. Years ago, after achieving enlightenment, the Celestial Fox ancestor hadn't helped Suku reach enlightenment but instead left him on the origin continent to manage the Celestial Fox clan. Whether one could achieve greatness depended on opportunity and talent. Suku clearly lacked talent but wasn't without opportunity either. If only he had developed the Celestial Fox clan well and gathered their collective destiny, he could have tried for enlightenment. But he believed that the Celestial Fox ancestor didn't want to help him achieve enlightenment, instead, he was simply using him. Then he sought out his own path to greatness. During this search process, his hatred for the Celestial Fox ancestor deepened continuously. Ultimately, encountering remnants from the Black Blood realm allowed him to achieve pseudo-Great Tao status, but at a significant cost. Thus he returned to heal while also allowing Black Blood to pollute the ancestral land. From the moment he encountered Black Blood, his hatred for both the Celestial Fox ancestor and clan had become irreparable. After piecing together much information, Lin Moyu couldn't help but chuckle coldly. It's truly a real-life scenario of, a grain of rice brings kindness while a bushel brings enmity. You were given too much kindness, it became habitual. When it's no longer given later on, it turns into enmity. How laughable. The cleverness of your Celestial Fox clan has been misapplied. This Tao heart is truly weak. Suku looked at Lin Moyu with disdain. You're just an insignificant insect. How dare you speak so presumptuously? Lin Moyu sighed lightly and shook his head. You'll soon find out who is truly an insect and who is just a frog at the bottom of a well. At this moment, the ancestral spirit was about to speak, but the incarnation of the Celestial Fox ancestor turned its head and glanced at him, silently stopping him with its eyes. The Celestial Fox ancestor looked at Suku and slowly uttered one word, fight. There were no more unnecessary words. Things had reached this point where talking was pointless, only fighting remained. The ground suddenly cracked open wide as the origin spirit vein completely revealed itself. Covered by dense mist, all Black Blood forces on its surface had been completely dispersed. The origin spirit vein soared up from beneath the earth and quickly merged into the body of the Celestial Fox ancestor. The aura of the Celestial Fox ancestor surged violently. Silver light overflowed from its body in dazzling brilliance. Using the power of the origin spirit vein, its incarnation crossed into pseudo-Great Tao realm status, though not true Great Tao realm status, similar to Suku's pseudo-Great Tao realm existence. Although their realms were identical, their combat powers were vastly different. There was no doubt that the combat power of the Celestial Fox ancestor could crush Suku without effort. Suku sneered coldly, I've been waiting for you. At that moment, the Black Blood Sword Saint thrust his sword forward, and the long sword vanished into space without a trace. Boom! A loud explosion sounded as a massive hole suddenly opened in the body of the Celestial Fox ancestor. The aura that had just surged began to weaken rapidly, worse than before. The recently merged origin spirit vein separated again from it. This sudden turn of events caught both the ancestral spirit and Su Li's group off guard. Suku laughed coldly. You've been dead for so many years. Do you really think this origin spirit vein still belongs to you? Lin Moyu saw a drop of jet black blood pulsating in the deepest layer of the origin spirit vein. The black blood force on the surface of the origin spirit vein had been cleared, but the black blood force hidden in its deepest part still existed. After the ancestor merged with the origin spirit vein, the Black Blood Sword Saint could launch attacks from within the Celestial Fox ancestor's body through the origin spirit vein. This attack not only interrupted his fusion with the origin spirit vein but also injured the celestial fox ancestor. Suku said, "Without the origin spirit vein, what do you have to fight me with?" With a cold laugh, Suku suddenly attacked. Although injured, the celestial fox ancestor's fighting spirit didn't diminish. It stirred up dense mist, and its 9 tails lashed out fiercely. The ancestral spirit and the other 4 also moved to action. They naturally had to help their ancestor. Chapter 3188, 3188. Chapter 3188, Time to Get Serious. Suku battled the celestial fox ancestor's incarnation, while the Black Blood Sword Saint fought against the ancestral spirit and the others. Terrifying forces surged wildly through the Qingqiu ancestral land. The first to be sent flying was Su Li. With just one collision, Su Li was severely injured and forced to retreat. Although he was at the 8th level Dao Venerable realm, he still couldn't contend with a 9th level Dao Venerable. Moreover, his 8th level Dao Venerable combat power was somewhat undeserving of the title. If it were an 8th level Dao Venerable from the Thunder Light Purple Striped Tiger clan or the Golden Lion clan, they might have been able to join in. The Black Blood Sword Saint, previously injured by the Celestial Fox Ancestor's incarnation, hadn't fully recovered yet and his power was greatly reduced. Yet he could still hold off the ancestral spirit, Su Jin, and Su Shen, showing how strong his combat power was. The pseudo-Great Dao realm Suku and the Celestial Fox Ancestor fought fiercely, seemingly evenly matched for now. Although the Celestial Fox Ancestor had been ambushed and his power somewhat weakened, this was his territory with his backup plans in place, so his power was still formidable. Lin Moyu watched the battle as if enjoying a show, just short of bringing out a watermelon. Unable to participate in the battle, Su Li came to Lin Moyu's side. "Mr. Lin, please think of a way to help." Lin Moyu smiled, "Isn't this fine as it is? Your ancestor doesn't seem to be losing." Su Li said, "But the opponent is at the Great Dao realm." Lin Moyu smiled, "Let me correct you, it's the pseudo-Great Dao realm, not the true Great Dao realm. Moreover, the injury he suffered long ago hasn't fully healed even after all these years." Lin Moyu could see that Suku's soul was still injured, his wound hadn't completely healed. Clearly, when he entered the pseudo-Great Dao realm back then, he paid an extremely heavy price. This price was so heavy that even after sleeping for countless years, it hadn't healed. Lin Moyu could understand his thinking. The Great Dao realm had unlimited lifespan. Given enough time, any injury could heal. But reality wasn't so simple. Some injuries couldn't heal no matter how much time passed. Su Li said, "But even so, he's still much stronger than a 9th level Dao Venerable, isn't he?" Lin Moyu shook his head, "Not necessarily. The pseudo-Great Dao realm is indeed stronger than the 9th level Dao Venerable, but not by much. At least your ancestor isn't afraid of him. If they fight, the most likely outcome is that both will be injured." Su Li was still very anxious, but since Lin Moyu wasn't taking action, he had no choice. Lin Moyu suddenly said, "Suku is right. Your ancestor did leave himself away back here. Do you want your ancestor to be revived?" Su Li instinctively replied, "Of course. If the ancestor could come back to life, our bloodline would evolve." Lin Moyu smiled, "If I were your ancestor and saw you in this state, I'd slap you all to death in one go." Su Li was stunned, his mouth twitching, "Surely not that bad." Lin Moyu said softly, "Your 2 9th level Dao Venerables together might not be able to defeat a single 9th level Dao Venerable from other royal clans. Look at your ancestor's combat power. If he saw you in this state now, of course he'd want to slap you all to death." Su Li said with a bitter face, "Even if we're slapped to death, I still hope the ancestor can come back to life. If Mr. Lin can bring back the ancestor, we'll do our best to fulfill whatever Mr. Lin asks for." Lin Moyu looked at Su Li, "You're not the clan leader, your words don't carry much weight. But whether your ancestor can be revived actually depends on his own luck. However, as a master of the Tao of Destiny, his luck shouldn't be bad." Lin Moyu looked towards the battlefield, which had now been clearly divided into 2 parts. One belonged to the Black Blood Sword Saint and the Ancestral Spirits group, the other to Suku and the Celestial Fox Ancestor's incarnation. The battle's shockwaves had shattered the entire Qingqiu land. If not for the 8th grade origin spirit vein supporting it, the entire ancestral land might have already crumbled. Lin Moyu said, "Don't worry about your ancestor, Suku can't do anything to him. But this Black Blood Sword Saint, if left alive, will be a disaster." The Tao of Destiny appeared beneath his feet, and Lin Moyu's body became hazy. Lin Moyu lightly pointed a finger at the Black Blood Sword Saint, and the Tao of Destiny immediately began to churn violently. A mist suddenly appeared above the Black Blood Sword Saint's head, falling like a waterfall onto him. When the mist touched the Black Blood Sword Saint, it was like ice and fire colliding, causing a violent explosion. The Black Blood Sword Saint was stunned by this sudden attack. He roared in anger, "You're seeking death." Lin Moyu smiled, "Then you can try to kill me." The illusory power of the Tao had an extremely strong killing effect on the Black Blood Sword Saint. Earlier, when the celestial fox ancestor repeatedly bit and shattered the Black Blood Sword Saint, Lin Moyu had already discovered this point. Now seeing it in action, the effect was indeed good. However, Lin Moyu's realm was too weak. Although the Tao of Destiny could affect him, it wasn't easy to kill him. Lin Moyu hadn't expected the Tao of Destiny to kill him, he was just testing its effect while also attempting to lock onto the enemy with the Tao. The Black Blood Sword Saint roared, his blood light surging, forcing back the ancestral spirit and the other two. At the same time, he transformed into black lightning, rushing towards Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu remained calm. A drop of ancestral water flew from his fingertip, faith power burned fiercely, and a beast warrior corpse appeared beside him. Origin level technique. Corpse explosion. Boom. With a violent explosion, the Black Blood Sword Saint staggered. Although not blown away, he was forced back several steps. Then a series of continuous explosions occurred, with the Black Blood Sword Saint constantly under attack, being repeatedly blasted back. Lin Moyu used the Beast Warrior corpses to continuously launch corpse explosions. The Beast Warriors were all 7th level Tao Venerables. Using their corpses as weapons, plus the enhancement from ancestral water and faith power, was enough to instantly kill a 7th level Tao Venerable. Even killing an 8th level Tao Venerable wouldn't be difficult. Although he was now blasting a 9th level Tao Venerable, it was enough to prevent him from approaching. Corpse explosion couldn't be dodged, only endured. In the blink of an eye, the Black Blood Sword Saint had been blasted back to his original position. The Black Blood Sword Saint roared in anger but couldn't advance a single step. The ancestral spirit and the other two also noticed this. They quickly closed in on the Black Blood Sword Saint, attacking with full force, determined to surround him. Lin Moyu smiled, "You're angry, but it's useless. You're formed from black blood, so your blood essence should be very strong, right?" Without giving the Black Blood Sword Saint time to react, skeletons stood up from within. 3,000 skeleton kings stood upright in midair, locked onto the Black Blood Sword Saint along Lin Moyu's Tao. Tao technique. Blood kill. The vast majority of blood kill's power was determined by the target's blood essence strength. The stronger the blood essence, the more powerful the blood kill attack. Blood kill couldn't be defended against unless one could comprehend the Tao of power like Lin Moyu, using the Tao of power to govern all the body's blood essence. Only then could one block the blood kill attack. Obviously, the Black Blood Sword Saint didn't have this ability. At the same time, he was indeed evolved from black blood, his entire body composed of blood. His blood essence was naturally terrifying, in fact, his very existence was blood essence. 3,000 skeleton kings simultaneously swung their swords to unleash the blood kill technique. Suddenly, blood-colored sword light erupted from the Black Blood Sword Saint's body. For a moment, the roaring sound drowned out his howls. Countless cracks appeared on the Black Blood Sword Saint's body, but they quickly healed. Blood kill was powerful, but the skeleton kings weren't strong enough. If the skeleton kings were also at the 9th level Tao Venerable realm, this attack would have been enough to scatter the Black Blood Sword Saint. Lin Moyu said softly, "The experiment is done. It's time to get serious." As his words fell, the space beside him distorted, and the Lightning Lich and Destiny Lich appeared simultaneously. Chapter 3189, 3189. Chapter 3189, Soon you won't see anything. The Destiny Lich and Lightning Lich appeared simultaneously. At the same time, another drop of ancestral water flew from Lin Moyu's fingertip, landing on the Lightning Lich, while faith power burned fiercely. The Lightning Lich summoned the Lightning Tao, and with its empowerment, its power increased significantly. At this point, the Lightning Lich had already entered the 8th level Tao Venerable realm. At the 8th level Tao Venerable realm, combined with the Destiny Lich, it could launch attacks directly from the Tao of Destiny, greatly enhancing its power. But this wasn't enough. Lin Moyu then took out his Divine Soldier Army Seal. Enhance. With a thought, the divine soldier army seal emitted dazzling light, and the power of the two liches increased greatly again. Now the lightning lich's power was almost touching the 9th level Tao Venerable realm, just a hair's breadth away. But even this wasn't enough to deal with the Black Blood Sword Saint. A peculiar aura suddenly emanated from Lin Moyu. Origin technique. Strengthen troops. The lightning lich's aura rose again, and the damage it could inflict would be amplified tenfold. As Lin Moyu used the origin technique, the Black Blood Sword Saint suddenly turned to look. Origin technique. His voice was noticeably higher than before, raised by several pitches, his eyes full of greed. Suku also looked over at this moment, with a hint of excitement. Actually an origin technique. You, a mere insect, actually possess an origin technique. Lin Moyu ignored them and with a thought, the two great liches moved. The Destiny Lich used the Tao of Destiny to lock onto the Black Blood Sword Saint, directly finding his weakest point in past and future, locking onto the weakness and guiding the Lightning Lich. The moment the guidance was complete, the Lightning Lich's chain lightning suddenly struck out, the lightning falling into Destiny at an incomparable speed. Layer upon layer of empowerment made this strike terrifyingly powerful. Chain lightning, through the Tao of Destiny, attacked the Black Blood Sword Saint at his weakest moment. The Black Blood Sword Saint suddenly let out a miserable scream, his body shattering into countless drops of black blood. Previously, he had been shattered many times by the Celestial Fox Ancestor, but could recover in the next second, only suffering some losses but not being killed. But this time was different. Lin Moyu's fingertip again released a drop of ancestral water, faith power continued to burn, and the Lightning Lich launched a second chain lightning. Chain lightning hit one of the drops of black blood, then the lightning exploded, 1 becoming 2, 2 becoming 4, instantly becoming countless, evolving into a sea of lightning. Those shattered drops of black blood were immediately devoured by chain lightning. In the blink of an eye, the Black Blood Sword Saint was utterly destroyed, both form and spirit. Su Li stared blankly at this scene. Is he dead just like that? Lin Moyu shook his head. Not yet. What I killed wasn't his true self. His true self is still hiding in the depths of the origin spirit vein. In the deepest part of the origin spirit vein, there was still a drop of black blood. This drop was the true root of everything. Su Li asked, then what do we do? The origin spirit vein was the foundation of the ancestral land. If it was hidden in the deepest part of the origin spirit vein, no one could do anything about it except the Celestial Fox Ancestor who had once refined the origin spirit vein, unless the origin spirit vein was destroyed. An 8th grade origin spirit vein couldn't be destroyed easily. Lin Moyu said, everything has two sides. When it hides in the origin spirit vein, it feels safest there, and the origin spirit vein can help it recover. But the origin spirit vein has an owner. It can at most be considered a guest. Although this owner has perished, he also left behind a seed for resurrection. Su Li tried hard to understand Lin Moyu's words, his eyes suddenly brightening. You mean the ancestor's resurrection seed is also in the origin spirit vein? Lin Moyu said, yes, but your Celestial Fox Ancestor's method is even more brilliant. He merged the seed with the origin spirit vein. The Celestial Fox Ancestor not only left the resurrection seed in the origin spirit vein but also merged it with the origin spirit vein. In other words, this origin spirit vein was his resurrection seed. As long as the origin spirit vein wasn't destroyed, he had a chance to resurrect. And since he did this, how could he not have protective measures? It wasn't so easy for the Black Blood realm to take over. The origin spirit vein hadn't reacted before because it hadn't touched its essence. If it were touched, Su Li wasn't stupid and had understood Lin Moyu's words. But how can we make the ancestor eliminate the black blood? Lin Moyu shook his head, it can't be eliminated. Even if your ancestor starts to resurrect, his initial power won't be very strong. He can't eliminate the black blood. However, since this origin spirit vein was initially refined by him, he can control its power and force the black blood out. Once it's forced out, it will be easy to deal with. Su Li understood Lin Moyu's meaning and immediately said, please, Mr. Lin, take action. Lin Moyu said, my action is useless. For him to truly revive, it still depends on that fellow. Lin Moyu looked towards the Celestial Fox Ancestor's incarnation in fierce battle. The incarnation was the will left by the Celestial Fox Ancestor, while the origin spirit vein was the life essence left by the Celestial Fox Ancestor. Only by combining will and life essence could the Celestial Fox Ancestor truly resurrect. And the entire process would be quite long, at least 1,000 years. At this moment, the celestial fox ancestor's incarnation and Suku were evenly matched, unable to determine victory. Lin Moyu sighed lightly. It seems they can't decide victory in a short time. Looks like I can't just watch anymore. Lin Moyu didn't want to drag this out any longer. The longer it dragged on, the more variables there would be. Moreover, that drop of black blood was trying to evolve again using the origin spirit vein, and Lin Moyu didn't want to give it another chance. Using the same method as before, Lin Moyu directly completed the Dao lock-on enemy. The moment the Dao lock-on enemy was completed, Suku glared over. He was a pseudo-Great Dao realm being, with at least 1 foot in the Great Dao realm, so he could sense the Dao lock-on enemy. Previously, he had looked down on Lin Moyu, considering him just an insect. But the Black Blood Sword Saint had been dealt with so cleanly and decisively, he could no longer underestimate Lin Moyu. Moreover, Lin Moyu had an origin technique, so he had to be wary of him. However, his glaring eyes also carried greed for the origin technique. If not for the celestial fox ancestor blocking him, he would have definitely rushed over to kill Lin Moyu and seize the origin technique. Lin Moyu said softly, "Just keep watching. Soon you won't see anything." Ancestral water flew out, faith power burned fiercely. The Destiny Lich guided the direction for the Lightning Lich, and the Lightning Lich, with various enhancements, struck out a thunderous attack along the Tao of Destiny. Boom! Terrifying lightning exploded on Suku's body, his flesh and skin peeling in the lightning. However, he wasn't blasted to pieces like the Black Blood Sword Saint. After all, he was a pseudo-Great Dao realm being, much stronger than the Black Blood Sword Saint. Even being attacked through the Tao of Destiny wasn't enough to kill him. Suku, enveloped in lightning, roared at Lin Moyu, "You deserve to die." His 8 tails swept out fiercely, and 8 tail shadows appeared in the world, falling towards Lin Moyu like a tidal wave. The celestial fox ancestor's incarnation also swept its tails, 9 tails appearing, intercepting Suku's attack midway, protecting Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu chuckled lightly, "What a pity. You can't kill me." The Lightning Lich launched another attack, still striking at Suku's weak point along the Tao of Destiny. Chapter 3190, 3190. Chapter 3190, If you don't look now, you'll miss your chance. Lightning filled the sky, following the Tao of Destiny, striking Suku in a strange and abrupt manner. The damage from the attack wasn't great, but it was extremely insulting. The numbing sensation brought by the lightning was very unpleasant. Suku roared incessantly, trying to kill Lin Moyu again and again, but most of the time he was blocked by the celestial fox ancestor's incarnation. Now the ancestral spirit and the other 2 stood beside Lin Moyu. Even if the celestial fox ancestor's incarnation missed something, they would step in to block for Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu's attack methods were powerful and strange, but they all realized that Lin Moyu himself was only at the 3rd level Dao Venerable realm and could possibly be killed if they weren't careful. So they spontaneously protected Lin Moyu, allowing him to unleash his attacks freely. The continuous chain lightning attacks caused some trouble for Suku, and the celestial fox ancestor's incarnation gradually gained the upper hand. Lin Moyu spread the wings of curse behind him, simultaneously empowered by the Tao of Time and the Tao of Space, forming a Tao true body. The wings of curse vibrated, sending curses along the Tao lock-on enemy, falling on Suku. Weakness, frailty, slowness, sleep, severe poison, all kinds of curses. Lin Moyu cursed whatever came to mind, regardless of whether it was effective or not, using everything at once. Suku was going mad. Although these methods weren't fatal, they did cause some interference to him. All in all, his strength had been reduced by at least 30%. The celestial fox ancestor took the opportunity to attack more fiercely and sharply, completely suppressing him. The power of time and space fused together, forming space-time power. Lin Moyu pointed, and the space-time power descended, enveloping Suku. Suku appeared momentarily stunned. The confusion of time and space still had some effect on him. Although this effect lasted only for an instant, the celestial fox ancestor seized this momentary opportunity, biting hard on his body and tearing off a large chunk of flesh. Then its tails lashed out fiercely, sending him flying over 100 li. Powerful beams of light shot from its mouth, and its 9 tails also lit up simultaneously, shooting out a sky full of colorful light. A terrifying technique enveloped Suku like a great net. Suku roared in the attack, frantically breaking out and once again engaging in a great battle with the celestial fox ancestor. The wounds on his body were rapidly healing, but the healing was slower than before due to the effects of the curses. Lin Moyu was using Supu as an experimental subject, constantly testing his techniques. Supu was an excellent test subject, being at the pseudo-Great Tao realm, already possessing some characteristics of the Great Tao realm. For example, his recovery ability was particularly strong, his power was endless, and basically inexhaustible. His soul defense was extremely strong, far surpassing ordinary 9th-level Tao Venerables. His physical body was the same, much stronger than ordinary 9th-level Tao Venerables. Based on the reactions to his techniques, Lin Moyu felt that Supu's physical strength was comparable to his own. Supu hadn't specifically cultivated his physical body, but as a beast race, his physical body should be a bit stronger. In other words, human cultivators at the pseudo-Great Tao realm had physical strength not inferior to his own. Perhaps true Great Tao realm beings would be even stronger, but at least this was the answer obtained so far. Supu, who had slept for many years, found his first great battle after being awakened extremely frustrating due to Lin Moyu's presence. He was completely suppressed, his counterattacks becoming increasingly weak. Supu felt his old wounds were about to act up again, his power beginning to weaken. If this continued, he would surely die here. You forced me to this. If that's the case, then let's die together. Supu roared. His 8 tails suddenly merged together, changing from 8 to 1. On the tail appeared a red gemstone. The gemstone glowed brightly, emitting a crimson light. The light wasn't fire, but it was more terrifying than fire. Everything it passed over melted. When the light swept over the lake, the water instantly evaporated, leaving not a drop behind. The Qingqiu land instantly became like hell, the earth shattering, completely transformed. The ancestral spirit's face changed drastically. That's the heaven-burning stone from the Fire Tao. Only Great Tao realm beings can withstand it. Lin Moyu also sensed the powerful force contained in this gemstone. It was indeed the purest Tao power. From this, it seemed that when Supu had traveled everywhere seeking opportunities, even going beyond the sky, he had indeed gained something. But Lin Moyu was curious why Supu said they would die together. The next moment, Lin Moyu understood why he said this. The red light not only destroyed the Qingqiu ancestral land but also Supu's body. This heaven-burning stone had a strong backlash effect. The fur on Supu's tail was quickly burned off, exposing the skin. Then the skin began to burn, and soon even the bones were exposed. If he continued to activate the heaven-burning stone, he would also perish. The celestial fox ancestor's incarnation was swept by the heaven-burning stone, half of its body instantly burned away. But this was just an incarnation. Amidst rolling mist, it quickly restored to its original state. The celestial fox ancestor's incarnation let out a long howl to the sky. In response to the howl, a mountain range rapidly flew over from the distance. 10,000 Flower Valley. Lin Moyu was slightly stunned. The 10,000 Flower Valley had actually flown over. Then, 3 azure dragons flew over, which were the 3 azure cloud roads he had seen before. The 3 azure cloud roads merged together, becoming an azure chain. The azure chain then bound the 10,000 Flower Valley. At this time, the outer shell of the 10,000 Flower Valley fell away, revealing its true form, a giant hammer. The giant hammer and the chain fused together, becoming a weapon similar to a meteor hammer. The weapon flew rapidly, landing in the hand of the celestial fox ancestor's incarnation. A terrifying aura suddenly erupted. Supu cried out strangely. You actually hid it away. What exactly did you do back then? Why did you hide it away? The celestial fox ancestor's incarnation didn't answer. With a roar, it swung the giant hammer towards Supu. Supu seemed very afraid of the giant hammer. He frantically retreated while directing the heaven-burning stone to attack the hammer. The red light from the heaven-burning stone struck the giant hammer, only making it slightly red, not even slowing its speed a bit. The powerful heaven-burning stone had met an even more powerful giant hammer. The giant hammer suddenly accelerated midway, shattering space and instantly appearing before Supu. Bang! Supu let out a miserable scream. His enormous body was smashed to pieces by the giant hammer, and the heaven-burning stone shattered into powder. Not only his body, but even his soul was almost shattered. Even though it didn't shatter completely, his soul was severely injured. Combined with his previous injuries, Supu's foundation had been thoroughly destroyed. His realm kept dropping, becoming weaker and weaker. Supu's soul kept growling. He tried hard to restore his physical body, but his efforts were doomed to be in vain. Looking at the plain and unadorned hammer, its power was extraordinarily great. This hammer strike had truly reached the great Tao realm level. However, using this hammer also came at a great cost to the celestial fox ancestor's incarnation. The incarnation also shattered for the most part, barely maintaining its form. This was the trump card left by the celestial fox ancestor. If this hammer strike failed, his plan for resurrection would fail. Boom! The giant hammer fell to the ground. The celestial fox ancestor's incarnation no longer had the strength to control it. It stared at Supu, continuously growling, seeming to have lost even the strength to attack. Lin Moyu chuckled lightly, spread his wings of time, and with a gentle flutter, instantly appeared before Supu. Supu now had no strength to resist. With his soul foundation damaged, being able to remain conscious was already not bad. Even so, he still glared at Lin Moyu with hateful eyes. If not for Lin Moyu, he wouldn't be in this state. Lin Moyu smiled softly and said, "I told you, if you don't look now, you'll miss your chance. I keep my word." In his palm, the world-burning fire danced slowly, carrying an aura that inspired fear. Chapter 3191, 3191. Chapter 3191, wishing you a smooth revival and return to the Great Tao. The world-burning fire blazed fiercely, emitting an aura that terrified the soul. The ancestral spirit cried out strangely, "The fire of heavenly punishment." Lin Moyu didn't respond. His world-burning fire was extremely similar to the fire of heavenly punishment. As for whether the world-burning fire was actually the fire of heavenly punishment, this question had no answer for now. Whether it was or wasn't, to Lin Moyu, this was the world-burning fire, capable of burning away the world, refining the world, and also burning away and refining souls. The world-burning fire wasn't strong enough yet to burn away the souls of Great Tao realm beings. Fortunately, Supu's soul was only at the pseudo-Great Tao realm, and now severely injured, not even at the pseudo-Great Tao realm anymore. Such a rare material, how could Lin Moyu let it go? So he acted without hesitation. Fear showed in Supu's eyes, but he was powerless, only able to watch helplessly as the world-burning fire engulfed his soul. An indescribable pain came from the depths of his soul, and he couldn't even pass out. He would be refined by the world-burning fire in a conscious state, erasing the last trace of his existence from the world. For such an ungrateful fellow, the world-burning fire was his best destination. As the world-burning fire refined Supu's soul, the ancestral spirit and the others watched in astonishment. They never dared to imagine that someone could control the fire of heavenly punishment. The fire of heavenly punishment should be a power exclusive to the Great Tao. How could it be controlled by human power? But the fact was right before their eyes. Lin Moyu was indeed controlling the world-burning fire. They felt their understanding had been completely shattered. The celestial fox ancestor's incarnation had finally recovered a bit of strength. It silently watched Lin Moyu, not making any moves. While refining Supu, Lin Moyu secretly collected some of Supu's bone fragments and flesh pieces. Whether used for corpse explosion or turned into revenants later, these were top-tier materials. This was a pseudo-Great Tao realm being, stronger than 9th level Tao Venerables. A moment later, Supu's soul was completely refined, turning into a soul crystal. The soul crystal was crystal clear, without a trace of impurity. Lin Moyu felt the pure power within the soul crystal and sighed lightly, what a pity. Supu's soul was too severely injured at the end, his realm directly dropping, not even maintaining the 9th level Tao Venerable realm. He fell from the pseudo-Great Tao realm to the 8th level Tao Venerable realm, and the refined soul crystal was about at this level. Lin Moyu placed the soul crystal in his soul world, directly throwing it to the 10-colored dragon soul crystal. The 10-colored dragon soul crystal called out excitedly, swallowing the soul crystal in one gulp, as if it had eaten a supreme delicacy, extremely excited. After dealing with Supu, Lin Moyu looked at the celestial fox ancestor's incarnation. Now it's time to disperse the black blood, right? How about it, will you do it yourself, or shall I? The celestial fox ancestor's incarnation stared at Lin Moyu. How did you come to know about the black blood realm? Lin Moyu smiled, great ancestor, let's not ask such meaningless questions. It's better to solve the problem first. If you want to ask, wait until you truly revive. The celestial fox ancestor's incarnation nodded slightly. All right, I will merge into the origin spirit vein and expel the black blood. Are you confident you can deal with it? As Lin Moyu had expected, the Celestial Fox Ancestor's incarnation currently didn't have the ability to destroy the black blood, only to expel it. Now the black blood was within the origin spirit vein. Although it was using the origin spirit vein to recover, everything has its pros and cons. The origin spirit vein was also the black blood's prison. Once the black blood left the origin spirit vein, it was very likely to escape. If it couldn't be killed, there would be endless trouble. Lin Moyu thought for a moment, I have about an 80% chance of taking out this fellow. The Celestial Fox Ancestor's incarnation said, 80% is enough. Lin Moyu still looked relaxed. Actually, it doesn't matter. Even if we don't kill this fellow, for it to recover would take tens of thousands of years, maybe not even enough in a million years. It won't take you that long to recover to your peak, right? After all, this trouble was brought by your servant, and the karmic connection is on you. You'll definitely be able to find him then. The Celestial Fox Ancestor's incarnation thought for a moment, seeming to agree, alright, then I'll start merging with the origin spirit vein. Get ready. Lin Moyu said, I'm ready anytime, but before that, I have a question. The Celestial Fox Ancestor's incarnation said, I'm just an incarnation, my memories are incomplete. I don't know if I can answer. Lin Moyu said, just tell me what you know. If you don't know, it's fine. I'm just curious, how did you know Suku would betray you, that the Qingqiu ancestral land would face this calamity, and thus leave such a powerful backup plan? The Celestial Fox Ancestor's incarnation said, I can answer this question. I didn't know Suku would betray me. I only knew that the Qingqiu ancestral land would face a calamity in the future, a crucial calamity that would determine whether I could be revived. As for how I knew this, someone told me. As for who that person was, I can't say. So I left a backup plan and left the Celestial Fox Hammer here to deal with the calamity. Unable to say, it seemed that the being who told the Celestial Fox Ancestor about the calamity was very significant. Being able to see a calamity countless years in the future, Lin Moyu guessed that the other party must be either a cultivator of the Tao of Destiny or the Tao of Time. Besides these two, he really couldn't think of anything else. Lin Moyu said, I have no more questions. Then I wish you a smooth revival and return to the Great Tao. The Celestial Fox Ancestor's incarnation merged into the origin spirit vein. The origin spirit vein immediately began to hum, with numerous runes lighting up on it. These runes weren't the familiar ones to Lin Moyu, but the divine runes of the Divine Soldier Army. This origin spirit vein had once been refined by the Celestial Fox Ancestor. Now returning to his hands, the whole process was very smooth. Before long, the power of the origin spirit vein was under the control of the Celestial Fox Ancestor's incarnation. Angry roars came from the depths of the origin spirit vein, filled with intense unwillingness. It was slowly leaving the origin spirit vein. It didn't want to leave but had no choice. The uninvited guest was being driven out by the owner. Lin Moyu lightly pointed his finger, and the skeletal hell appeared, covering the origin spirit vein, making a seamless connection. The moment the black blood left the origin spirit vein, it was immediately devoured by the skeletal hell. The black blood struggled frantically in the skeletal hell but couldn't escape. It came from the black blood realm and had inerasable characteristics, but before evolving into the black blood sword saint, its power wasn't very strong. In the netherworld black pool, Big Head Song poked his head out. The black dragon first sized up the black blood for a second, then suddenly rushed over and swallowed it in one gulp. Lin Moyu seemed to hear the black blood's screams, filled with utter fear. The skeletal hell devours everything. Even black blood could be erased by it. Just like in the great world before, the skeletal hell could erase the black blood tide. The netherworld black dragon burped contentedly, then shrank back. The ancestral spirit let out a long sigh of relief, it's finally over. Su Jin and the others also relaxed, thinking that the crisis in the Qingqiu ancestral land was finally over. Lin Moyu shook his head, it's not over yet. The ancestral spirit and the others' faces suddenly changed, what other problems are there? Lin Moyu said, the Great Tao reward is coming soon. You can think about what reward you want. You can ask for anything, as long as it's not too excessive. Generally, it can be fulfilled. Chapter 3192, 3192. Chapter 3192, Two Tigers on One Mountain. The Great Tao reward arrived as promised, for everyone present, without exception. Even Su Li, who contributed the least, received a share of the Great Tao reward. The great Tao reward was fair. The more one contributed, the more reward they received. Those who contributed less naturally received less reward. Su Li's reward wasn't much, lasting only a short while before ending. His aura improved somewhat compared to before, and his cultivation level advanced a bit. For their first great Tao reward, most people chose to enhance their cultivation level. The brothers Su Jin and Su Shen did the same, also choosing to improve their cultivation. As for the ancestral spirit, being a tool spirit, it didn't need to enhance its cultivation. The ancestral spirit hoped the great Tao could help the celestial fox ancestor revive. As a tool spirit, the celestial fox ancestor was its creator and the most important existence in its life. Naturally, the celestial fox ancestor was now striving to revive. The entire process could take as short as 1,000 years or as long as tens of thousands of years. The appearance of the great Tao reward allowed him to significantly shorten his revival time. Lin Moyu guessed that the celestial fox ancestor's backup plan might have even accounted for the great Tao reward. With the great Tao reward, the celestial fox ancestor's revival was almost certain. Indeed, worthy of being the smartest clan among the beast races, their thoughts and actions were very practical. Among them, Lin Moyu received the most great Tao reward. After all, the black blood was ultimately destroyed by him. Lin Moyu used the great Tao reward to condense Tao patterns. Originally, it took him 200 years to condense one Tao pattern. Using the great Tao crystal reduced the time 100-fold, needing only 2 years. And under the great Tao reward, it only took 10 minutes. The great Tao reward was truly the ultimate tool for condensing Tao patterns, incomparable to any other treasure. Unfortunately, the effect of the great Tao reward couldn't overlap with the great Tao crystal. This time, too many people shared the great Tao reward. Lin Moyu only condensed 4 Tao patterns before the great Tao reward completely dissipated. The number of Tao patterns increased to 58, with 50 used and 8 in an idle state. As the great Tao reward ended, Lin Moyu opened his eyes. Now it's truly over. The ancestral spirit said, "Thank you, Mr. Lin, for helping our clan through this crisis. I have nothing here to thank you with, so we'll have to wait until you leave to ask clan leader Sumo." Lin Moyu said, "Clan leader Sumo did indeed make some promises to me, and I've also gained quite a few benefits here. You don't need to be so polite. Your ancestor is in the process of reviving, which will probably take over 1,000 years. The Qingqiu ancestral land also needs time to recover, so I won't disturb you further." The ancestral spirit said, "I'll see Mr. Lin out." Then it said to Su Jin and Su Shen, "You two stay for a few more days to help me repair the Qingqiu ancestral land." At this point, the rules of the ancestral land had recovered, and the ancestral spirit could use these rules to rebuild the ancestral land. With the help of the Su Jin brothers, the process would be much faster. Lin Moyu took out a Tao stone. "No rush, I still need to ask you all to make a great Tao oath." In Nine-Tailed City, in a palace atop a mountain peak, the blood pool had long since stopped boiling. A group of Celestial Fox clan elders sat cross-legged in the palace, quietly waiting for the result. Those who could come here were all old fellows, each extremely patient. Suddenly, the quiet blood pool began to boil on its own, and then a pillar of blood rose from the pool, shooting towards the sky. The blood light reached the top of the palace, and space twisted and shattered within it, forming a passage. Sumo opened his eyes and looked towards the sky, his old face showing joy. "They're out." Along with the joy was a hint of nervousness. He didn't know what had happened inside the ancestral land, whether Lin Moyu had succeeded or failed, and whether his grandson was safe. Soon, the figures of Lin Moyu and Su Li appeared in the passage. Seeing the two unharmed, Sumo immediately let out a sigh of relief. Regardless of whether the crisis in the ancestral land had been resolved, at least the two had returned safely, which was already something worth celebrating. Leaving the passage, Lin Moyu flew directly outside the palace, looking towards the distant sky. Su Li also said nothing, closely following Lin Moyu out. The strange behavior of the two caused some of the clan elders in the palace to feel puzzled. Sumo gestured for everyone to be quiet and flew over personally. He came to Su Li's side and, like Su Li, said nothing, not even asking about the situation. Lin Moyu looked at the Celestial Fox clan's destiny. At this time, the clan's destiny had become clean, with the calamity gone and no black blood polluting it. Although in terms of destiny strength, it had decreased compared to before, the level of destiny had risen. Overall, the Celestial Fox clan's destiny had improved. Normally, once a calamity appears, it means destiny has entered a fork in the road. If the calamity is successfully overcome, destiny will change. If not overcome, the clan's strength will be greatly weakened. The Celestial Fox clan had overcome this calamity, and their race would surely experience a rise. The source of this rise might be the reviving Celestial Fox ancestor. Once the Celestial Fox ancestor revives, the clan's bloodline will surely be strengthened, and the entire clan's strength will increase significantly. The Celestial Fox ancestor's combat power was extraordinary. Lin Moyu felt that the ancestor's combat power might even surpass that of the Beast Emperor. At that time, who would lead the beast races would be hard to say. With the Celestial Fox ancestor backing them, even the Beast Emperor couldn't do much to the Celestial Fox clan. Lin Moyu found this interesting, feeling it was like having two tigers on one mountain. The entire structure of the beast races might change. After confirming that the Celestial Fox clan was no longer in trouble, Lin Moyu withdrew his gaze and said to Sumo, "Mission accomplished." Sumo's face immediately lit up with joy. "Has the crisis in the ancestral land been resolved?" Lin Moyu said, "Su Li can tell you the specific details." Sumo nodded. "As long as the ancestral land is safe, that's good." That's good. He wasn't in a hurry to know the details. As long as he knew the crisis in the ancestral land had been resolved, that was enough. As for what exactly happened, he could ask slowly later. Sumo flipped his palm, producing a jade tablet and a treasure box. This jade tablet contains some information about the Western continent that I recently had people compile, as well as some information Mr. Lin might be interested in. This treasure box was also found deep in our storehouse. I'm not sure when it was put there, we hadn't noticed it before. Lin Moyu accepted the treasure box and jade tablet without asking much, simply saying thanks. For what he had done, these two items from Sumo were far from enough compensation. Sumo also knew this point and said softly, "The day after tomorrow, I'd like to invite Mr. Lin to browse our clan's treasure vault, to see if there are any problems with the items there. If there are any issues, please help us deal with them, Mr. Lin." He spoke very politely, saying he was inviting Lin Moyu to check if there were any problems in the treasure vault. In reality, he wanted Lin Moyu to select treasures. The situation was exactly the same as when he was with the Thunderlight Purple Striped Tiger clan, except that Lei Mie had spoken more directly and straightforwardly. Sumo, on the other hand, spoke more implicitly, with some underlying meaning. Lin Moyu smiled and said, "All right, I'll wait for the clan leader to come. I'll take my leave now." Chapter 3193, 3193. Chapter 3193, an extremely powerful soul level. After Lin Moyu left, Su Li recounted what had happened after they entered the ancestral land. Some parts he couldn't speak about due to the Great Tao Oath. However, he also explained to Sumo that not only he but also Su Jin, Su Shen, and the ancestral spirit had taken the Great Tao Oath. Su Li was somewhat helpless, given the situation at the time. When Mr. Lin asked us to take the Great Tao Oath, we couldn't refuse. Sumo said, "Mr. Lin has done our clan a great favor, indeed we couldn't refuse. But it doesn't matter, we never intended to pry into Mr. Lin's secrets. As long as the Great Tao crisis could be resolved, it's already a tremendous blessing for our clan." Moreover, this time not only was the Great Tao crisis resolved, but our great ancestor will also be revived. Our clan's future will be bright. In comparison, a mere Great Tao Oath is nothing. Su Li, remember, you must maintain good relations with Mr. Lin. Treat Mr. Lin as you would treat our great ancestor. Su Li was suddenly shocked. Sumo's words were too heavy. In Sumo's words, he had already elevated Lin Moyu to the same level as their ancestor. But thinking of Lin Moyu's performance in the ancestral land, it was indeed incredibly brilliant. Even the ancestor's incarnation highly agreed with many of his words. In the future, Lin Moyu might truly achieve the same level as their ancestor. After returning, Lin Moyu released the three girls again. They hadn't had enough fun in Nine-Tailed City, so now that he was back, he let them play for a few more days. Once they leave this place, they'll have to endure hardships. Lin Moyu first took out the treasure box given by Sumo. He didn't have high hopes for it, thinking it was likely another Great Tao fragment. He didn't know why that prehistoric powerhouse preserved so many heavenly Tao fragments. He quickly drew the corresponding runes, and the treasure box opened. A strange aura emanated from the box, and Lin Moyu's eyes suddenly widened. A beautiful great Tao jade was quietly lying in the box. It's true that what you seek often appears when you stop looking. Of all the treasure boxes before, none contained a great Tao jade. Without hesitation, Lin Moyu took the great Tao jade in his hand and summoned the Thousand Stars Tao. For the Thousand Stars Tao, the great Tao jade was the best supplement. The great Tao jade was immediately absorbed by the Thousand Stars Tao. Lin Moyu was once again pulled into the Tao, seeing the scene he had seen before. Stars lit up one by one from a dark world, then merged into the Tao, returning to their original positions. The Star Lord positions in the Thousand Stars Tao were continuously activated. More and more stars appeared in the Tao, and the power of the Thousand Stars Tao grew stronger and stronger. The whole process was very mysterious. Even with previous experience, Lin Moyu still felt as if he were in a dream. This time, 20 stars returned to their positions. Now, the number of Star Lords in the Thousand Stars Tao exceeded 50. Lin Moyu could feel the Thousand Stars Tao recovering, growing stronger, as if it was waiting for a transformation to truly revive. Perhaps then, he would be able to use part of the Thousand Stars Tao's power. The Thousand Stars Tao would surely revive, it was just a matter of time. Lin Moyu was full of confidence about this. As his consciousness returned, his soul heard a dragon's roar. Entering his soul world, he found the 10-colored dragon soul crystal roaring continuously, seeming very excited. Oh, the 11th color. Lin Moyu was surprised to discover that an 11th color had appeared on the 10-colored dragon soul crystal. Originally 10 colors, red, orange, yellow, green, cyan, blue, purple, black, white, and gray, now there was an additional silver hue. The 11th color, silver. Although the 11th color was still very faint, it had undeniably appeared. The 10-colored dragon soul crystal had changed, becoming an 11-colored dragon soul crystal. The dragon soul crystal breathed out a dragon breath onto Lin Moyu's soul, making his soul feel incredibly refreshed. The level of his soul hadn't changed, but the realm it occupied had risen. Lin Moyu felt his soul had entered a completely new level. His perception of the Tao was several times clearer than before. The speed of condensing Tao patterns suddenly increased. After careful sensing, Lin Moyu found that his speed of condensing Tao patterns had doubled compared to before. Now, even without the help of the great Tao crystal, he could condense one Tao pattern in 100 years. With the help of the great Tao crystal, he could condense one Tao pattern in a year. This way, even without the great Tao reward, in just 14 years, he could advance to the 4th level Tao Venerable realm. This speed was enough to scare other Tao Venerables to death. What's my situation? My realm hasn't improved, but my soul level has increased greatly. My soul level seems even purer than Little Moon's innate jade soul, closer to the heavenly Tao. Looking through the materials, there doesn't seem to be any record of a situation like mine. In countless materials, Little Moon's innate jade soul was already the top-tier soul level. But Lin Moyu felt that his current soul level was even more powerful than Little Moon's innate jade soul, closer to the great Tao. He even had an illusion that he could almost touch the great Tao. Looking at the dragon soul crystal again, it had changed. The function of the dragon soul crystal had surpassed his imagination. Before reaching 11 colors, the dragon soul crystal's function was to refine the soul, make it purer, and provide some defense for the soul. Unexpectedly, as soon as it became 11 colors, it gave him such a big surprise. The 10-colored dragon soul crystal was already a legendary, heaven-defying existence among dragons. So what about the 11-colored dragon soul crystal? Beyond legendary. I should ask Antares about this when I see him next time. Then Lin Moyu took out Suku's flesh fragments. He decided to use Suku's flesh fragments to summon a revenant. Suku was the servant of the Celestial Fox ancestor. In the entire Celestial Fox clan, if anyone knew the ancestor best, it would naturally be Suku. Back then, the Celestial Fox ancestor achieved the Great Tao realm in prehistoric times, and Suku became the first clan leader of the Celestial Fox clan at that time. This also meant that the Celestial Fox clan's bloodline was extremely ancient, traceable to prehistoric times. So from Suku's mouth, he could obtain a lot of information about prehistoric times. Perhaps some secrets are about to be unveiled. Lin Moyu had a thought and didn't immediately revive him, but put away the flesh fragments. The next moment, Lin Moyu flew out of the palace, left Nine-Tailed City, and flew towards the distance. After leaving Nine-Tailed City, Lin Moyu flew another 100,000 li before stopping. He landed in a mountain valley. His aura trembled slightly, and the spirit beasts in the valley immediately fled as if for their lives. In the blink of an eye, only small insects remained in the valley. Origin crystals flew out one by one, and a large number of runes were drawn. Lin Moyu set up a formation in the valley. He wanted to use the formation to conceal everything that happened inside the valley. Not only would he use the formation, but afterward he would also use the Tao of Time to erase the time imprints here. No matter who came, they wouldn't be able to see what happened here. Lin Moyu wasn't worried about others, he was really worried about the Celestial Fox Ancestor. Even though the Celestial Fox Ancestor was currently struggling to revive, needing at least several thousand years. But who knew if this powerful Great Tao Realm being might have some means to discover what he was doing. If he knew that Lin Moyu had revived Suku and learned his information from Suku's mouth, who knew how he would react? One must always think one step ahead. Caution is never excessive. A powerful shielding formation was set up, reaching the 6th grade, but it was a composite formation, with actual effects comparable to a 7th grade grand formation. Lin Moyu was still not at ease. He summoned the Tao of Space again, forming a spatial barrier. Then he used the Tao of Destiny to cover the valley with illusory power. After all preparations were complete, he finally performed the reviving the dead technique. The undying flame fell on the flesh fragments and began to burn fiercely. Chapter 3194, 3194. Chapter 3194, It's been a long time since I died. The flesh fragments slowly regenerated in the flames. The speed of flesh regeneration was slower than any previous time. Suku was a pseudo-Great Tao realm being, so it was normal for his flesh to regenerate more slowly. As long as he could regenerate, it was already half a success. Lin Moyu was very patient, quietly waiting while carefully observing every detail. After the flesh regenerated to a certain extent, it began to emit a powerful aura surpassing the 9th level Tao Venerable realm. The aura of the Great Tao realm spread throughout the palace. Fortunately, Lin Moyu had set up multiple measures beforehand, so this aura didn't leak out. Actually, the safest situation would have been for Lin Moyu to revive Suku in his own great world. But Lin Moyu wasn't sure if his great world could withstand a pseudo-Great Tao realm being like Suku. Not only was he unsure about the great world, even his soul world needed to be considered. Moreover, would there be any unexpected occurrences during the revival? Would the revived Suku be under his control? If the realm was too high and out of control, and then self-destructed, not only would the great world be finished, but the entire world of rules would be destroyed too. He could revive himself, but all the living beings in the great world would definitely die. So after much consideration, Lin Moyu decided to perform the summoning in the real world. Even if there was a self-destruction, at most it would only destroy this mountain valley. With a 100,000 li buffer, it probably wouldn't affect Nine-Tailed City. As the flesh gradually regenerated, the physical body became complete. What was revived was a snow-white celestial fox. This was Suku's true form. Suku's true form was about 10 meters long. After the physical body recovered, the tails began to regenerate. Tails are very important for the Celestial Fox clan. Newborn Celestial Fox clan members only have one tail. As their realm improves and bloodline evolves, the number of tails increases. Those with strong bloodlines can have 6 tails at the Tao Venerable realm, and grow a 7th tail at the 7th level Tao Venerable realm. Those with weaker bloodlines have fewer tails. All direct descendants of the Celestial Fox clan have 7 tails after the 7th level Tao Venerable realm. Branch family members only have 6 tails at the 7th level Tao Venerable realm. Suku, as a pseudo-Great Tao realm being, had 8 tails, which was his limit. Only the Celestial Fox ancestor could have 9 tails. As the tails regenerated, Suku's soul also began to reassemble within the rules. Lin Moyu sensed an ancient aura. This aura was incredibly old, coming mysteriously from distant ages, bringing Suku's soul. As Suku's soul began to reassemble, the aura grew stronger, impacting the formation Lin Moyu had set up. The impact of Suku's revival was very intense. It was fortunate that ample preparations had been made to block these auras. As the auras overlapped, anomalies appeared in the valley. An 8-tailed white fox appeared, howling to the sky in the valley. Then, a great Tao appeared in the sky. This was Suku's own great Tao, not the Celestial Fox ancestor's Tao of Destiny. He hadn't followed the ancestor's old path but had comprehended his own great Tao. The great Tao was entirely golden, with flashes of fire within the golden light. The golden light was incredibly sharp, seemingly able to cut through anything like a sword. The fire light within the golden light. Lin Moyu found this great Tao in his memories. This was a very special great Tao. In the records of the current era, it hadn't appeared many times, no more than 10. This great Tao was a fusion of the metal and fire Taos, called the Metal Fire Tao. It possessed both the metal power and fire power from the 5 elements, having both the sharpness of the metal Tao to cut through everything and the terrifying power of the fire Tao to burn heaven and earth. The Metal Fire Tao was known for its offensive power and was very strong. So Supu comprehended the Metal Fire Tao. It seems he indeed had ambition, not walking the same path as the Celestial Fox Ancestor. I guess the Celestial Fox Ancestor also saw through his ambition. Since he possessed a great Tao, why didn't he use it in the Qingqiu ancestral land? Could there be other hidden circumstances? In the Qingqiu ancestral land, neither he nor the Celestial Fox Ancestor had used their great Taos. Thinking back now, it was indeed a bit abnormal. Great Tao realm powerhouses have already merged with the Great Tao. Their strongest method should naturally be using the power of the Great Tao. But why didn't they use it? As Lin Moyu was pondering, the Metal Fire Tao began to rumble, and the reassembling soul became unstable. Lin Moyu's heart shook. There's a problem. The gap between himself and Supu was too large, spanning several small realms plus half a large realm. He had experienced failures in reviving the dead before, so Lin Moyu was mentally prepared from the start. The Tao of Destiny appeared, directly raising his destiny to the extreme. In his soul, the Destiny Talisman glowed brightly as Lin Moyu began to deduce what would happen next. He could only predict 5 seconds into the future. If the other party really self-destructed, Lin Moyu would know 5 seconds in advance. 5 seconds was enough for Lin Moyu to leave this place. Even if he couldn't escape, at least he could be mentally prepared. In the first deduction, Lin Moyu saw future events. In the first second, the soul's vibrations became increasingly intense. In the third second, the soul became unstable, its aura chaotic. In the fourth second, the Destiny Talisman exploded, and the deduction failed. Lin Moyu didn't hesitate at all and continued to deduce. This time, in the third second, the Destiny Talisman collapsed. Unable to deduce. Is it because Supu's realm is too high? My mastery of the Tao of Destiny is insufficient to deduce matters related to the Great Tao realm. Or is it that after involving the Great Tao, the future becomes unpredictable, so it can't be deduced? Thoughts flashed through his mind like lightning, but it was too late to say anything now. Lin Moyu didn't bother to escape and gave up on preparing to die once. It had been a long time since he died. Experiencing death and revival again didn't seem too bad. The only pity was that this precious piece of flesh would be wasted. Having mentally prepared himself, Lin Moyu waited for the self-destruction to come. The soul continued to be chaotic, time passing second by second. After 3 seconds, the chaos in the soul reached its peak, but the self-destruction didn't come. Then the soul deflated like a punctured balloon, its aura rapidly weakening while becoming stable. Supu didn't self-destruct but fell from the pseudo-Great Tao realm back to the 9th level Tao Venerable realm. After falling to the 9th level Tao Venerable realm, the soul quickly stabilized, completing the final step of becoming a revenant. Supu, now at the 9th level Tao Venerable realm, knelt before Lin Moyu. He didn't immediately bow his head like other revenants. Although kneeling there, his eyes were very complex. Lin Moyu looked down at him. Do you know your identity? Supu instinctively replied, I know. I am your most loyal servant. Lin Moyu continued to ask, do you know what you should do? Supu answered, obey your orders. Even if it means death, I will not resist. He still couldn't resist the mysterious power of the reviving the dead technique. No matter how unwilling he was internally, his obedience to Lin Moyu didn't decrease at all. Lin Moyu was very satisfied with Supu's answer. He now knew that the current limit of his technique was the 9th level Tao Venerable realm. Because Supu was a pseudo-Great Tao realm being, not a true Great Tao realm being, he didn't self-destruct but became a revenant at the 9th level Tao Venerable realm after lowering himself by half a realm. If he had revived a true Great Tao realm being, it would either fail, or if successful, would inevitably end in self-destruction. Lin Moyu said, good. Then tell me about prehistoric times. Chapter 3195, 3195. Chapter 3195, finally found you. Supu didn't know much about the Great Prehistoric War. Back then, he and the entire Celestial Fox clan didn't participate in that war, which is why they were able to survive. When the Celestial Fox ancestor achieved the Great Tao, the war hadn't yet erupted, and Supu was only an ordinary third-level Tao Venerable. Later, when the Celestial Fox ancestor established the Qingqiu ancestral land, Supu stayed there to cultivate alongside the ancestor while serving him. At that time, great Tao realm powerhouses would often visit to discuss the Tao with the Celestial Fox ancestor, while Supu could only serve on the side. He greatly envied these great Tao realm powerhouses, hoping that one day he could also become one. So he cultivated diligently, striving towards his goal. The Celestial Fox ancestor was extremely talented. After becoming a great Tao realm being, he continued to advance without stopping. The gap between Supu and the Celestial Fox ancestor didn't narrow but instead grew larger and larger. Especially after becoming a 7th-level ancestor, Supu felt he had reached his limit. The greatest achievement in his life might just be the 9th-level Tao Venerable realm. At that time, the Celestial Fox ancestor frankly told him that with his talent, the possibility of entering the Great Tao realm was extremely slim. But Supu wasn't content with this, yet he had no way to change it because he was in the Qingqiu ancestral land, and because the Celestial Fox ancestor was there, he couldn't leave. Gradually, Supu's inner heart became twisted, and he began to hate the Celestial Fox ancestor. Later, when the Great War broke out, the Celestial Fox ancestor had to leave the Qingqiu ancestral land. Before leaving, the Celestial Fox ancestor did many things. He brought the entire Celestial Fox clan into the Qingqiu ancestral land and placed it in a special space, far from that great war. Finally, he created the ancestral spirit to manage the ancestral land and made Supu the first clan leader of the Celestial Fox clan. The Celestial Fox ancestor went to participate in the war and never returned. The Celestial Fox clan reproduced generation after generation in the Qingqiu ancestral land, gradually growing stronger and more numerous. Later, when the war ended, the structure of the origin continent changed dramatically, and the Qingqiu ancestral land finally returned to the origin continent. The ancestral spirit, following the Celestial Fox ancestors' pre-arranged plan, transported all the Celestial Fox clan members from the Qingqiu ancestral land back to the origin continent after the war ended, forming the current Celestial Fox clan. At that time, Supu, who had reached the 9th-level Tao Venerable realm, knew his chance had come. The war had just ended, and many legacies of great Tao realm beings remained on the origin continent. He set out alone on a path to seek opportunities. He traveled across the 4 continents and even went beyond the sky, finally encountering the Black Blood. The Black Blood came from the Black Blood realm, barely surviving that great war and hiding in dark corners, hoping to revive one day. Using its last bit of power, the Black Blood bewitched Supu. Supu had an obsession with the Great Tao realm, and the Black Blood amplified this obsession. The power from the Black Blood realm polluted Supu. Although it allowed him to successfully enter the pseudo-Great Tao realm, it also made him pay a huge price. The biggest price wasn't the damage to his soul, but that Supu abandoned his own Great Tao. That's why in the battle in the ancestral land, Supu never used his metal fire Tao from beginning to end. After hearing Supu's own story, Lin Moyu sighed inwardly. It was all about obsession. Actually, the Celestial Fox ancestor had left a path for Supu. If he had developed the Celestial Fox clan well and gathered their destiny, he would have had a chance to advance further. Right after the war ended was the best time to gather destiny, with everything needing to be rebuilt. Moreover, the Celestial Fox clan's abilities were well suited for this task. The simplest method would have been to collect origin spirit veins. With enough destiny, even if Supu couldn't truly enter the Great Tao realm, at least reaching the pseudo-Great Tao realm wouldn't have been a problem. He could have gained immortality without paying a price. Unfortunately, Supu didn't understand the Celestial Fox ancestors' good intentions, ultimately ending up in such a state. From Supu's account, Lin Moyu learned that behind several major beast races, there was once a Great Tao realm ancestor. These ancestors often came to discuss the Tao with the Celestial Fox ancestor, and Supu had seen most of them. However, most of these Great Tao realm beings died in that Great War. But they all left behind methods to ensure their races could continue as much as possible. As the ancestors of various races, their races were the continuation of their bloodlines. As long as the race still existed, perhaps one day, they could return, resurrecting in another form. The Celestial Fox ancestor once took him across the 9 continents. In Supu's description, the origin continent of that time was incredibly prosperous, with various races standing tall. Lin Moyu grasped a key point in Supu's words. Are you saying that back then, there were no Buddhist or insect clans? Supu nodded, honestly answering Lin Moyu's question. No, not only were they not there before the war, but when I was seeking opportunities after the war, they weren't there either. The absence of the Buddhist and insect clans was worth pondering. For this to happen, there were only two possibilities. One was that the Buddhist and insect clans came from outside the origin continent. The other was that these two clans evolved from living beings on the origin continent later. Both possibilities existed, but now the Tao didn't show disgust towards these two clans, indicating they weren't enemies of the Tao. Unfortunately, Supu didn't experience that great war of the past and wasn't clear about the entire prehistoric war. It seems that to know the detailed process of that war back then, I still need to ask those great Tao realm beings. Unfortunately, the great Tao realm beings who survived that war have all left the origin continent. The three ancestors and the Beast Emperor won't talk about it. Lin Moyu thought of a good method, which was to find a way to kill the withering and flourishing elder of the 100 Herbs Alliance, then turn him into a revenant. That way, he could ask whatever he wanted to know. As a great Tao realm being who survived that prehistoric catastrophic war, the withering and flourishing elder must know a lot. Compared to asking the three ancestors and the Beast Emperor, who would give evasive and vague answers, this would be much better. However, to turn the withering and flourishing elder into a revenant required some prerequisites. The level of the reviving the dead technique needed to be further improved. Lin Moyu estimated that he would need to become a 7th level ancestor himself first. Besides this, the most difficult point was killing the withering and flourishing elder. This was a true great Tao realm being, and a plant type 1 at that, with astonishingly strong vitality. Killing him would be very, very difficult. At present, it was certainly not possible. The exploration of prehistoric times would have to wait for later. However, from Supu's account, it wasn't entirely without gain. Several beast race ancestors had almost all left behind backup plans, leaving seeds for resurrection. As for how they would resurrect, that was unknown. Great Tao realm beings are not easy to kill, and they don't want to die. Their desire to survive is much stronger than ordinary cultivators. So they would do everything possible to leave themselves opportunities for rebirth. Secondly, from Supu's account, he also learned the name of that prehistoric war. People at that time called it the Origin Catastrophe. A war that shattered 5 of the 9 continents of the origin continent was an unprecedented great catastrophe. Origin Catastrophe, sooner or later, I will figure you all out. I want to see what background that person behind the scenes who shattered hell has. Lin Moyu put away Supu and was about to return to Nine-Tailed City when suddenly a powerful aura enveloped the entire mountain valley. A low, thunderous voice exploded in the valley. Finally found you. Chapter 3196, 3196. Chapter 3196, Beast Emperor, that guy has come to kill. The entire valley was enveloped by a mysterious force, sealing it off and isolating it from the outside world. The valley had become an independent world. Lin Moyu's expression changed slightly. The owner of this voice was too familiar. In the Ice-Fire secret realm, he had disrupted the others' plans, ruining years of scheming. The Beast Emperor had even crossed to the western continent to personally wound him. From then on, a deadly feud had formed between them. Lin Moyu sneered, Elder Withering Flourish, I didn't expect you to find me so quickly. It seems the Beast Emperor didn't hit hard enough. He knew clearly that the Beast Emperor's attack couldn't have been light. The real reason he could recover so quickly was that he was a plant-based Great Tao Realm powerhouse. The Beast Emperor might have used himself as a standard of measurement. Hee. Elder Withering Flourish laughed coldly. As he laughed, the temperature in the valley dropped rapidly. Lin Moyu asked, coming here like this, aren't you afraid the Beast Emperor will come after you again? Elder Withering Flourish laughed. This elder admits he's not as strong as the Beast Emperor, but it's wishful thinking for the Beast Emperor to kill me. If this elder were to fight desperately, even the Beast Emperor couldn't bear that cost. He was somewhat fearless. The Beast Emperor was indeed stronger than him, but so what? At most, the Beast Emperor could wound him, but if he fought with his life on the line, even the Beast Emperor would be in big trouble. They were all Great Tao Realm powerhouses, who would really fear whom? Lin Moyu's gaze darkened, looking as if he had been frightened by Elder Withering Flourish's words. So the Elder has traveled billions of miles to personally kill me. Elder Withering Flourish said in a low voice, what else? You, a mere insect, actually ruined this Elder's plans. Don't you deserve to die? Lin Moyu said, that was just a coincidence, a misunderstanding. I can offer an Ice Fire Dao Stone as compensation. How about we let this matter rest? You have an Ice Fire Dao Stone, obtained from the Ice Fire Secret Realm. Hearing about the Ice Fire Dao Stone, Elder Withering Flourish's voice clearly changed. His scheme for the Ice Fire Secret Realm was for the Ice Fire Dao Stone. Now, although Lin Moyu had ruined his plan, if he could get the Ice Fire Dao Stone from Lin Moyu's hands, it wouldn't be bad. Lin Moyu said, this junior was fortunate to obtain an Ice Fire Dao Stone from the Ice Fire Secret Realm. If it can resolve the misunderstanding between us, this junior thinks it's not impossible. Elder Withering Flourish fell silent, clearly considering Lin Moyu's words. Lin Moyu took this opportunity to carefully sense Elder Withering Flourish's condition. He wanted to know if Elder Withering Flourish's injuries had fully healed, whether it was his true body that had come this time, to calculate if he had any power to resist. Also, whether this valley was completely cut off from the world, or if there was still a chance for a gap, whether the Beast Emperor flower could still work. Every detail would determine the course of events to follow. His powerful spiritual perception once again gave Lin Moyu a pleasant surprise. Although Elder Withering Flourish hadn't shown himself, Lin Moyu could still sense his presence, and combined with his undead eye, he could judge his true condition. What Elder Withering Flourish had sent wasn't his true body, but an avatar. This avatar was strong, stronger than the previous Ice Fire Dao Tree Seed, surpassing the 9th level Dao Venerable Realm, but not reaching the Great Dao Realm, not even as strong as a pseudo-Great Dao Realm. This being the case, using the Revenant Supu should be able to handle it. Even if he couldn't win, at least survival wouldn't be a problem. With this judgment, Lin Moyu's heart settled. Other matters became easier to deduce. Why did Elder Withering Flourish send an avatar instead of coming himself? First, he was certainly afraid of the Beast Emperor discovering him. The movements of a Great Dao Realm being wouldn't be small, hard to hide from the Beast Emperor. Secondly, his injuries might not have healed, he was still recovering, and his body wasn't suitable for action. But at the same time, Elder Withering Flourish didn't want to let Lin Moyu off easily, so he sent an avatar to secretly search for Lin Moyu's whereabouts in the northern continent, looking for a chance to kill him. After a moment of silence, Elder Withering Flourish said in a low voice, one Ice Fire Dao Stone isn't enough. You think you can buy your life with one Ice Fire Dao Stone? You're dreaming. Lin Moyu heard another meaning in Elder Withering Flourish's words. Half of Elder Withering Flourish's words were probing, testing to see how many Ice Fire Dao Stones Lin Moyu actually had. His eyes turned, and he immediately asked, then how many do you want? Elder Withering Flourish said softly, 4. Suddenly he changed his mind, no, at least 5. Lin Moyu chuckled, Elder Withering Flourish, there's a saying in our human race, have you heard it? Elder Withering Flourish instinctively asked, what saying? Greed knows no bounds, like a snake trying to swallow an elephant. There's no more, just one Ice Fire Dao Stone. With this, let's erase the grudge between us. Lin Moyu was decisive, giving Elder Withering Flourish no room for negotiation. By now, Elder Withering Flourish was certain that Lin Moyu must have more than one Ice Fire Dao Stone. He laughed coldly, actually, it doesn't matter if you don't give them. After this Elder kills you, all your Ice Fire Dao Stones will naturally belong to me. Lin Moyu said, are you sure you want to kill me? The consequences of killing me are severe. Those who have tried to kill me before didn't end up well. Elder, won't you reconsider? Elder Withering Flourish said coldly, you, a mere 3rd level Dao Venerable, got a little lucky in the Ice Fire Secret Realm and think you're something special. For this Elder to crush you is no different from crushing an ant. Lin Moyu seemed helpless, it seems there's no room for negotiation. Elder Withering Flourish said, negotiate my ass. Hand over all the Ice Fire Dao Stones, and this Elder will let you die quickly. Lin Moyu shrugged, if that's the case, then here you go. The space beside him distorted, and Su Pu, who had just been recalled, appeared. Lin Moyu was generous, directly sending a drop of ancestral water to Su Pu, while faith power burned fiercely. Su Pu's aura suddenly surged. Although still not reaching the pseudo-Great Dao Realm, he was at the peak of the 9th level Dao Venerable Realm, not at all weaker than Elder Withering Flourish's avatar. Supu's sudden appearance clearly surprised Elder Withering Flourish. "Who are you?" Elder Withering Flourish shouted angrily. Supu didn't bother to answer, directly pouncing towards Elder Withering Flourish. A dazzling great dao containing gold and fire appeared. Supu reached out and grabbed a golden long spear wrapped in flames from the metal fire dao, thrusting it towards Elder Withering Flourish's avatar. Under the undead eye, the position of Elder Withering Flourish's avatar was exposed. Brilliant golden light illuminated the valley. Where the golden light passed, nothing could withstand it, nothing could avoid destruction. At the same time, fierce flames ignited in heaven and earth. Elder Withering Flourish's avatar let out a strange cry, instantly flashing away to avoid it. His speed was very fast, intending to move hundreds of li in an instant to avoid Supu's thrust. Supu's long spear swept across, the golden light exploding violently. The entire valley was blasted apart, and an area of hundreds of li was leveled. With the valley destroyed, the world that Elder Withering Flourish had separated also returned to the origin continent. A 9th level Dao Venerable taking action, and at the peak of the 9th level at that, the power of this strike was shockingly great. Elder Withering Flourish's avatar couldn't avoid it this time and was swept by the golden light, flying backward with a scream. Only then did Lin Moyu see clearly that this avatar was actually a mass of thorns. The thorns rolled in the air while spewing out powerful force to extinguish the flames on its body. Its body was completely black, clearly not enjoying the flames from the metal fire Dao. Elder Withering Flourish roared, "This elder will kill you." Lin Moyu chuckled, taking out the Beast Emperor flower. "Beast Emperor, that guy has come to kill me. Can you handle this?" Chapter 3197, 3197. Chapter 3197, "It seems you can't kill me today." Supu could at most guarantee his own safety. Killing Elder Withering Flourish's avatar was almost impossible. Lin Moyu didn't want to be constantly watched by someone, especially a great Dao realm being. How could he live his life like that? Elder Withering Flourish had clearly lost all shame, so the best method was to completely destroy his face. Lin Moyu directly activated the Beast Emperor flower, informing the Beast Emperor about the situation here. The Beast Emperor had said before that Elder Withering Flourish wouldn't be able to move for a short time. Now, how long had it been? Elder Withering Flourish had already come. This was simply slapping the Beast Emperor's face. Great Dao realm powerhouses all care about face. The Beast Emperor definitely wouldn't sit idly by. Sure enough, the Beast Emperor flower glowed slightly, and the Beast Emperor's voice immediately sounded, "I'll be right there." The Beast Emperor flower also had positioning abilities, so the Beast Emperor could know where Lin Moyu was. In the northern continent, the Beast Emperor had placed several avatars. If his avatar were to come, it shouldn't take long to arrive. The avatar could hold off Elder Withering Flourish's avatar, and once the main body arrived, Elder Withering Flourish's avatar would surely die. Supu was blocking Elder Withering Flourish's avatar for Lin Moyu. After the initial brilliant strike, Supu's power had dropped considerably. It wasn't possible to use ancestral water and faith power for every attack that would exhaust even the most abundant supplies of ancestral water and faith power. Without the double enhancement, Supu's strength was not a bit weaker than Elder Withering Flourish's avatar. Although he could block, if Elder Withering Flourish's avatar wanted to escape, he couldn't stop it. Lin Moyu decided to hold him back. Since he had come, he shouldn't leave. The wings of curse spread, and curse after curse fell from above. Given Lin Moyu's realm, various curses naturally had little effect on Elder Withering Flourish's avatar, but they could at least annoy him. Elder Withering Flourish's avatar roared in anger repeatedly but couldn't break through. This situation had just occurred in the Qingzhou ancestral land. At that time, Supu had been annoyed to the point of almost vomiting by Lin Moyu. While releasing curses, the Tao of Destiny appeared on Lin Moyu's body. The Sword of Destiny and the Sword of Deadly Poison condensed simultaneously and slashed out instantly. The Sword of Destiny was formless and intangible, impossible to dodge. Elder Withering Flourish's avatar's destiny was immediately weakened greatly. With destiny weakened, Elder Withering Flourish's avatar's power decreased. As a great Dao realm being, he naturally knew what Lin Moyu had done. The weakened destiny affected not only the avatar's destiny but also the main body's destiny. You dare to weaken this elder's destiny? This elder will grind your bones to dust, plant your soul in filthy soil, and make you suffer for eternity, unable to live or die. Elder Withering Flourish was enraged. His entire body of thorns evolved into endless thorny vines, lashing at heaven and earth. Su-Pu was violently pushed back. Lin Moyu's wings of time vibrated, quickly retreating thousands of li. The world was lashed and shattered, space broke apart, and the earth turned to ruins. Elder Withering Flourish's avatar rolled with thorns, crushing towards Lin Moyu. Endless vines continued to lash at heaven and earth. If Lin Moyu were hit even once, he would surely die. Su-Pu came to block but couldn't stop the endless vines. Unless Su-Pu transformed into his true form, but Lin Moyu didn't let Su-Pu do so. Not only did he not let Su-Pu transform, but he even recalled Su-Pu. The wings of time vibrated violently, and Lin Moyu retreated at top speed. The direction he retreated in was actually towards Nine-Tailed City. From Nine-Tailed City, over a dozen streaks of light flew out. Led by Sumo were 3 9th level Dao Venerables and over 10 8th level Dao Venerables, already rushing over. This place was only 100,000 li from Nine-Tailed City. They could naturally sense what was happening. Since he could borrow Nine-Tailed City's power, why should he exert himself so much? Although the Celestial Fox clan's combat power wasn't great, they could certainly hold out for a while. Once the Beast Emperor's avatar arrived, the current problem would be solved. Let's see if Elder Withering Flourish's avatar dares to confront Nine-Tailed City head-on. Perhaps it was hard to say before, but now Elder Withering Flourish had clearly lost his head, and there was an 80–90% chance he would dare. While retreating, Lin Moyu once again condensed the Sword of Destiny, slashing out several times in succession, causing Elder Withering Flourish to roar incessantly in anger. Having one's destiny cut was as uncomfortable as it could be. Although destiny would recover over time, during this period, he would certainly have bad luck in everything he did and wouldn't dare to go anywhere. Elder Withering Flourish's avatar gradually caught up. You can't escape. Lin Moyu chuckled, we'll see about that. The Tao of space suddenly descended, and the wings of time vibrated violently, forming space-time power. Lin Moyu's speed suddenly increased, as if teleporting, instantly widening the distance between him and Elder Withering Flourish's avatar. Elder Withering Flourish wasn't skilled in speed. His speed among 9th level Dao Venerables was considered extremely slow. He roared in anger incessantly but could do nothing about Lin Moyu. Finally, Sumo and the others arrived. Seeing someone chasing and trying to kill Lin Moyu, Sumo didn't even think and shouted loudly, "Stop him!" Lin Moyu had done so much for them, how could they watch him come to harm? The dozen or so Celestial Fox clan Dao Venerables who had rushed over simultaneously transformed into their true forms, becoming giant Celestial Foxes. This was their battle form, and in this form, their power was much greater than in human form. Their huge tails lashed out, colliding violently with the vines. The world shattered, and their tails were lashed bloody by the vines. In terms of power, they were inferior to Elder Withering Flourish's avatar. But their numbers were sufficient, and they had enough tails. The continuous lashing made it difficult for Elder Withering Flourish's avatar to advance. Although the Celestial Fox clan's Dao Venerables were relatively weak in combat power among those of the same realm, as long as there were enough of them, they could still hold back Elder Withering Flourish. Lin Moyu's face bore a smile. It seems you can't kill me today. As he spoke, several more swords of destiny slashed over. The sword of destiny harmed the enemy greatly while also damaging oneself slightly, but Lin Moyu ignored the damage to his own destiny, determined to finish off Elder Withering Flourish. Elder Withering Flourish could only roar in impotent rage. Faced with over a dozen 8th and 9th level Dao Venerable Celestial Fox clan members, he indeed couldn't break through. He was strong, but only by a small margin. Suddenly, Elder Withering Flourish began to retreat. Lin Moyu sensed a powerful aura approaching and knew it was the Beast Emperor's avatar. Lin Moyu shouted urgently, "Don't let him escape, hold him back." Sumo let out a long howl to the sky. In an instant, the dozen or so Celestial Fox clan Dao Venerables also howled to the sky. Tens of thousands of li away, Nine-Tailed City suddenly burst into light. The weather changed, clouds rolled, and a 9-tailed Celestial Fox appeared in the sky, the Celestial Fox ancestor. Nine-Tailed City used the Celestial Fox clan's destiny to manifest an illusion of the Celestial Fox ancestor. The moment the Celestial Fox ancestor's illusion appeared, countless Celestial Fox clan members in Nine-Tailed City immediately knelt down, shouting, "Ancestor!" Lin Moyu hadn't expected the Celestial Fox clan to have such a move. Clearly, this was also a technique left behind by the Celestial Fox ancestor. The celestial fox ancestor's illusion appeared above Elder Withering Flourish as if teleporting, and 5 giant tails slammed down from the sky. Boom! Elder Withering Flourish's avatar was smashed into the ground, cracking the earth. Countless cracks appeared on his body, and most of his vines were broken. The celestial fox ancestor's illusion only struck once before disappearing. Lin Moyu saw that Sumo and the others' faces had turned pale, clearly under great pressure from this strike. Although it was only one strike, it was enough. The power of this strike was too strong, almost surpassing the 9th level Dao Venerable realm. Currently on the Origin continent, only great Dao realm beings like the 3 ancestors and the Beast Emperor could block it. Elder Withering Flourish's main body could, but his avatar couldn't. As the Beast Emperor's avatar arrived, Elder Withering Flourish tried to fly up and escape again, but Lin Moyu didn't give him the chance. Destiny Explosion Technique, Explode. Chapter 3198, 3198. Chapter 3198. This Emperor doesn't need you to teach what to do. Elder Withering Flourish's avatar, having barely fled 100 li, suddenly exploded from within. In the terrifying explosion, he fell from the sky. Whether it was the avatar or the main body, Elder Withering Flourish's destiny had been greatly weakened, now less than 1/10 of what it was before. In this state, when Lin Moyu used the Destiny Explosion technique, its power was astonishing. This strike nearly shattered Elder Withering Flourish's avatar on the spot. However, being an avatar created by a great Dao realm being, and a plant-based life form at that, its vitality was extremely tenacious. The Destiny Explosion technique couldn't kill him, only adding to his injuries. Plant-based Dao Venerables were hard to kill. Lin Moyu understood this point well. Sumo and the others surrounded him again. Lin Moyu had said not to let him escape, so they would do their best to trap him. Elder Withering Flourish's avatar roared, "Celestial Fox Clan, you're seeking death." He once again burst out countless vines, frantically lashing at the surrounding world. His attack range covered several hundred li, making it impossible to approach. While lashing out, Elder Withering Flourish was quickly fleeing. He couldn't continue to be entangled. If he stayed any longer, he would die. Lin Moyu shook his head lightly. "It's too late, you can't escape now." After being hindered by the Celestial Fox Ancestor's illusion and the Destiny Explosion technique in succession, Elder Withering Flourish was now too late. The Beast Emperor's avatar arrived, a mist spreading out, transforming into a giant hand that slammed down from the sky. The vines were smashed apart, and the giant hand directly slammed Elder Withering Flourish's avatar to the ground. The earth rumbled as if in an earthquake, cracking open huge fissures and forming an underground canyon. The Celestial Fox Clan is under this Emperor's command. Dare to touch them and see what happens. The Beast Emperor's avatar appeared in the sky, mist enveloping his entire body, concealing his true appearance. Lin Moyu judged that the Beast Emperor's avatar's realm was about the same as Elder Withering Flourish's avatar, both at the peak of the 9th level Dao Venerable realm. But in terms of combat power, the Beast Emperor's avatar should surpass Elder Withering Flourish's avatar. Just as the Beast Emperor's main body also surpassed Elder Withering Flourish's main body. The Beast Emperor's avatar had finally arrived, and Elder Withering Flourish finally despaired. "Beast Emperor, you really want to stop me?" The Beast Emperor snorted coldly. "This Emperor doesn't care what else you do, but if you want to kill friend Lin, this Emperor won't allow it." Elder Withering Flourish immediately said, "All right, I was wrong this time. I promise you, I won't enter the northern continent again." The Beast Emperor shook his head. This Emperor said, "Whether you enter the northern continent or not, this Emperor doesn't want to care. But since you've come, you must pay the price. This avatar of yours is well crafted. Since it's here, let it stay." The Beast Emperor slammed down another palm. Elder Withering Flourish's avatar roared, his entire body sprouting spikes, turning into a porcupine. The spikes shot upwards, colliding with the Beast Emperor's palm. Boom! With a crisp sound, the Beast Emperor's palm was actually pierced through. Elder Withering Flourish shouted angrily, "Since you won't let me go, then let's die together. You can forget about keeping this avatar of yours." The Beast Emperor laughed coldly. "If it were your main body that came, this Emperor's avatar indeed couldn't be saved. But now you're just an avatar. What right do you have to say such things?" The Beast Emperor roared, suddenly throwing out a punch. A huge iron fist appeared in the world, once again smashing Elder Withering Flourish back down. The spikes on Elder Withering Flourish's body were all smashed off, and he fell to the ground again. The Beast Emperor threw punch after punch, instantly delivering hundreds of blows. The earth was completely shattered. For 10,000 li around, the ground had collapsed, turning into a basin. Elder Withering Flourish was in the basin, but he wasn't dead. He was still alive. Plant-based lifeforms truly had terrifyingly powerful vitality. It was extremely difficult to kill him among those of the same realm. Elder Withering Flourish laughed madly, his laughter tinged with weakness. Don't forget, our strengths are equal. This avatar of yours still isn't enough to kill this elder. He once again extended countless spikes, this time piercing them into the ground. In an instant, origin power surged wildly as he drew strength from the earth. The earth's power was endless, and his injuries were recovering at an astonishing speed. At this point, Elder Withering Flourish seemed to have given up on leaving. He probably knew he couldn't leave even if he wanted to, so he decided not to leave. He stayed there, absorbing the earth's power, looking like a dead pig unafraid of boiling water. The Beast Emperor spoke with disdain. You think this emperor came with just an avatar? A mass of mist approached from afar at an astonishing speed, instantly merging with the avatar. Terrifying pressure surged through heaven and earth. Even though the Beast Emperor could only exert 30% of his power on the origin continent, that was 30% of a great Dao realm being's power, far surpassing the 9th level Dao Venerable realm. Elder Withering Flourish spoke with disbelief. For the sake of a human youngster, your main body actually took action. Do you know what you're doing? The Beast Emperor laughed coldly. Does this emperor need you to teach what to do? It seems the lesson last time wasn't enough. Perhaps this emperor needs to make another trip to the western continent. Elder Withering Flourish was still defiant. If you dare come to the western continent again, this elder will surely make you pay the price. The Beast Emperor smiled. Then let's see what price you can make me pay. At least today, this avatar of yours is finished. Mist surged, and a terrifying fist appeared in the world. Although this fist didn't have any great Dao power enhancing it, anyone who looked at it would feel incredibly terrified. This punch seemed capable of shattering the entire northern continent. Lin Moyu sensed that the power of this punch had completely surpassed the limits of the Dao Venerable realm, entering the realm of the Great Dao. However, it should be the weakest punch in the Great Dao realm. After all, the Beast Emperor could only exert 30% of his power here. Everyone's attention was drawn to this punch. It seemed to contain supreme power, the goal pursued by all 9th level Dao Venerables. At this moment, a suction force appeared in Lin Moyu's palm, drawing in some of the vines that had been shattered from Elder Withering Flourish's avatar earlier. He began to chew on them. Elder Withering Flourish's voice revealed despair and anger. Fine, Beast Emperor. Since you're being so absolute, this elder will surely let you know what regret means. The Beast Emperor laughed wildly. This emperor wants to see how you'll make this emperor regret. The fist slowly descended. Its speed was very slow, but Elder Withering Flourish knew clearly that he had nowhere to escape. The fist was still 1,000 meters in the air, but its terrifying power was already causing the earth to crack again. Elder Withering Flourish didn't try to escape. He knew there was no escape. The fist landed on Elder Withering Flourish's avatar at an extremely slow speed. The thorny body was completely crushed under the fist. With one punch, Elder Withering Flourish's avatar died on the spot. Everyone present knew how difficult it was to kill Elder Withering Flourish's avatar, but it couldn't withstand a casual punch from the Beast Emperor. This showed how powerful the Beast Emperor was. After killing Elder Withering Flourish's avatar with one punch, the fist instantly disappeared without causing any impact on the earth. This showed what level the Beast Emperor's control over power had reached. Sumo and the others knelt before the Beast Emperor. Greetings to the Beast Emperor. The Beast Emperor made a sound of acknowledgement. You all did well this time. Now withdraw. This emperor wants to speak with friend Lin alone. Sumo immediately stood up and retreated. The Beast Emperor's orders were above all else. They didn't dare hesitate for a moment. After this incident, Lin Moyu's importance in Sumo's heart increased even more. The Beast Emperor not only called Lin Moyu a friend but also killed Elder Withering Flourish's avatar for Lin Moyu's sake. Sumo knew Elder Withering Flourish's identity. He was the master of the 100 Herbs Alliance, an existence on the same level as the Beast Emperor. Unexpectedly, for Lin Moyu's sake, the Beast Emperor didn't give the other party any face at all. This showed how important Lin Moyu was in the Beast Emperor's heart. Chapter 3199, 3199. Chapter 3199, Where did they come from? The earth was shattered, mountains collapsed in the battle, and tens of thousands of li had turned to ruins, no longer the green mountains and clear waters of before. This was the first time such an event had occurred outside Nine-Tailed City. For countless years, the area around Nine-Tailed City had never experienced such a great battle. However, it didn't matter. Afterward, the Celestial Fox clan would come to repair it. This land would be restored to its original state before long, at most losing a few high mountains. Lin Moyu came before the Beast Emperor. "Thank you, Beast Emperor, for coming to my rescue." The Beast Emperor's voice carried authority, yet also a hint of gentleness. Even if this emperor hadn't come, friend Lin should have been fine. Lin Moyu shook his head. If the Beast Emperor hadn't come, he certainly wouldn't have fled. In the end, he might have taken root in Nine-Tailed City, and we would have had no way to deal with him. The Beast Emperor nodded. That's true. His final technique would have been very difficult for ordinary 9th level Dao Venerables to kill him. Lin Moyu said, so I really must thank the Beast Emperor for coming to the rescue. Otherwise, even if I had been fine, Nine-Tailed City would likely have suffered. Lin Moyu had brought Nine-Tailed City into it. If Elder Withering Flourish had really caused trouble in Nine-Tailed City, it would have been the Beast Emperor who lost face. After all, this was the Beast Emperor's territory, and the Celestial Fox clan was under the Beast Emperor's command. The Beast Emperor said, Elder Withering Flourish went too far this time. This emperor might have to go teach him another lesson. Lin Moyu said, when Elder Withering Flourish came to kill me this time, he said that if you went to find him again, he would surely make things difficult for you. He's not easy to bully either. If he fights desperately, he could at least fight you to a mutual defeat. The Beast Emperor fell silent, then sighed lightly. He's not wrong. If he really fought desperately, at most this emperor could fight him to a mutual defeat. Killing him is almost impossible. Lin Moyu said, so I think you shouldn't go find him. It's not worth injuring yourself for his sake. Moreover, his avatar was destroyed here this time. He probably won't make a move again for a short while. However, the Beast Emperor heard the implication in Lin Moyu's words and asked, however what? Lin Moyu said, however, I'm about to go to the Western continent, and I'm afraid there might be some trouble. The Western continent was quite far, and Elder Withering Flourish was in the Western continent. If he set his sights on Lin Moyu, even the Beast Emperor might not be able to help from so far away. Lin Moyu wasn't afraid of Elder Withering Flourish's avatar. But facing Elder Withering Flourish's main body, Lin Moyu knew his current strength was far from enough. Seeing the Beast Emperor's punch earlier, he realized that the strength of Great Dao Realm beings far exceeded his imagination. His previous estimates of the Great Dao Realm were inaccurate. The Beast Emperor asked in a low voice, why do you want to go to the Western continent? That place is no paradise. Some things there are even more troublesome than in the Eastern continent. The Eastern continent wasn't actually as chaotic as imagined. It might have been chaotic before, but now that Antares had appeared, led the Eastern Spirit Empire, and carried out a major cleanup, the structure of the Eastern continent had become clear. The Lufan Chamber of Commerce, led by the three ancestors, was the top power in the Eastern continent on the surface. The Eastern Spirit Empire, led by Antares, was the hidden power in the Eastern continent. These two powers, one overt and one covert, had actually taken control of the entire Eastern continent. As for other factions in the Eastern continent, they were just minor disturbances, not amounting to much. In the Western continent, there were the Buddhist clan, Insect clan, Dragon clan, and the 100 Herbs Alliance. These four powers fought each other, already showing signs of a chaotic situation. Besides this, there was also the Netherworld clan hidden in the shadows of the Western continent, as well as some powerful spirit beasts. The actual situation in the Western continent was more chaotic than the Eastern continent. Lin Moyu said, precisely because the situation is more chaotic, I wanted to ask the Beast Emperor to help me think of a solution. The Beast Emperor thought for a moment. The 100 Herbs Alliance is in the northeast of the Western continent, closest to here. If you want to go to the Western continent, it's best to avoid that area. You can ask that Three Ancestors fellow to buy the best map. The map will show the territories of various clans in the Western continent. Bring out the Beast Emperor flower the first gave you. Lin Moyu handed the Beast Emperor flower to the Beast Emperor. The Beast Emperor took the flower back into the mist and said, this Emperor will modify the Beast Emperor flower. Carry it with you at all times, and it can help conceal your aura. As long as you don't enter the 100 Herbs Alliance's territory, Elder Withering Flourish won't be able to sense you. If you want to go to the western continent, it's best to take a detour and enter from the southwest. Saying this, the Beast Emperor returned the modified Beast Emperor flower to Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu saw that a divine rune had been added to the Beast Emperor flower. This rune emitted a mysterious aura, formless and intangible, enveloping him as if concealing something about him. The Beast Emperor continued, as long as you don't enter the 100 Herbs Alliance's area, Elder Withering Flourish won't discover you. If you accidentally enter, flee immediately and tell this Emperor at once. This Emperor will come as quickly as possible. Lin Moyu nodded, hanging the Beast Emperor flower at his waist, and asked, it seems Elder Withering Flourish monitors his territory very strictly. The Beast Emperor said, Elder Withering Flourish has openly created 3 avatars. One of them is named Wild Grass. The Wild Grass avatar isn't strong in combat, but it possesses an ability called proliferation. Wild Grass can proliferate countless offspring, each of which can become Wild Grass's eyes. Elder Withering Flourish uses this ability to monitor the entire 100 Herbs Alliance. Lin Moyu asked again, what about nearby? The Beast Emperor said, the 100 Herbs Alliance is located in the northeast. The 2 sides closer to the inland of the western continent are the territories of the Dragon Clan and Insect Clan. Neither direction is easy to deal with, and Wild Grass won't go there. Further northeast is the Realm Sea. Some nearby islands are actually territory of the 100 Herbs Alliance, and might have Wild Grass's offspring. Further away is Old Black's domain. Elder Withering Flourish doesn't dare to provoke him. So as long as you enter the western continent from the southwest, and don't cross through the Dragon Clan and Insect Clan territories, you basically won't be sensed by Elder Withering Flourish. Lin Moyu already had a map of the western continent in his mind, and with the Beast Emperor's explanation, he now understood the general situation of the western continent. In the map he currently had, the largest area in the western continent was occupied by the Buddhist clan. If he entered the western continent from the southwest, he would first step into Buddhist clan territory. His relationship with the Buddhist clan didn't seem very good either, having killed several Buddhas. But compared to Elder Withering Flourish, entering through the Buddhist clan's side seemed a bit safer. He wanted to find the Netherworld clan. From the information given by the 3 ancestors, Lin Moyu saw that the Netherworld clan's location was in the north of the western continent, in a small area at the border between the Dragon Clan and the 100 Herbs Alliance territories. This area was a desolate region of the western continent, not a good place. Neither power was interested in those areas, so the Netherworld clan had multiplied and grown strong there. Besides this, the 3 ancestors had also told him about another hell fragment. That hell fragment was in the Buddhist clan's territory. So the Buddhist clan was also a place he had to go. Lin Moyu said, Beast Emperor, I have a question I'd like to ask, if you know the answer. The Beast Emperor laughed heartily, no need to be so polite with this Emperor. If you have a question, just ask. Lin Moyu said, when the Origin catastrophe ended, there were no Buddhist or insect clans on the Origin continent. Where did they come from? The Beast Emperor's mist suddenly paused. He asked with slight surprise, how do you know this? Chapter 3200. 3200. Chapter 3200. It's time to suffer a bit. Nine-Tailed City was still bustling with activity. The recent battle outside the city and the appearance of the Celestial Fox Ancestors' illusion had become topics of conversation for countless beast races. However, most beast races didn't know that the Beast Emperor had just been there. The Celestial Fox clan had dispatched a large number of people to repair the tens of thousands of li of land damaged outside the city. Lin Moyu returned to his palace. The Beast Emperor had already left. He had obtained some uncertain answers from the Beast Emperor. Faced with Lin Moyu's questions, the Beast Emperor had been somewhat vague. However, Lin Moyu could be sure that whether it was the Buddhist clan or the Insect clan, their backgrounds were not small. As for what exactly their backgrounds were, the Beast Emperor didn't say. The Beast Emperor only told Lin Moyu that the Buddhist clan's heritage didn't entirely originate from the Origin continent, and the Insect clan similarly wasn't a native species of the Origin continent. From the Beast Emperor's words, it could be analyzed that the root of the Buddhist clan was a line of inheritance, and this inheritance created the current Buddhist clan. This inheritance wasn't entirely from the Origin continent, possibly mixed with some other things. As for the Insect clan, they were even less of a native species of the Origin continent. If they weren't from the Origin continent, then they naturally came from another world. But the Tao didn't show disgust towards them, so they could now be considered part of the Origin continent. Finally, Lin Moyu took out the materials given by Sumo. These materials were recently compiled by Sumo, said to contain information Lin Moyu needed. After reviewing them, the jade tablet in Lin Moyu's hand automatically turned to dust, leaving nothing behind. So, Sumo had already seen through Little Five's true identity. Is it that he doesn't want Little Five's bloodline, or that he doesn't dare to want it? Lin Moyu felt it was both. As the clan leader of the Celestial Fox clan, Sumo naturally knew that capturing a soul spirit progenitor beast was a double-edged sword. If successful, they might be able to try to learn and comprehend the Tao of cause and effect through the soul spirit progenitor beast. If they failed, the entire clan's destiny would be damaged. The soul spirit progenitor beast was a very mysterious species, not something anyone could kill if they wanted to. Over the years, many soul spirit progenitor beasts had been captured, but no one had ever truly mastered the Tao of cause and effect. So after seeing through Little Five's identity, Sumo hadn't thought about capturing Little Five. Not only did he not capture her, but he also told Lin Moyu about the information on other soul spirit progenitor beast groups. Within the Celestial Fox clan's territory, there were 2 other groups of soul spirit progenitor beasts living. Sumo and several high-level Celestial Fox clan members knew about this, but they all tacitly agreed not to trouble these 2 groups of soul spirit progenitor beasts. Because they knew this might be a losing proposition, and they didn't want to get entangled in any causal relationships with the soul spirit progenitor beasts. This was also the cleverness of the Celestial Fox clan, not letting greed blind their eyes. Now that Sumo had seen through Little Five's identity and discovered Little Five's relationship with Lin Moyu, he told Lin Moyu about this matter. As for how Lin Moyu would handle it, that was Lin Moyu's own decision. Besides this, the materials also recorded some information that might be related to hell fragments. This information was very scattered, numbering in the tens of thousands, even more chaotic than last time. Sumo had similarly just given the information to Lin Moyu, letting Lin Moyu analyze it himself. Tens of thousands of pieces of questionable information, spread across the 4 continents. Lin Moyu thought it would take considerable time to analyze. Lin Moyu naturally wouldn't think about it himself. He directly gave it to the Human Emperor, letting the Human Emperor analyze it. This was the Human Emperor's forte. Lin Moyu called out the Soul Clan leader and told him about the other 2 groups of soul spirit progenitor beasts. Soul Clan leader, I want to bring those 2 groups of soul spirit progenitor beasts to Dao Speech City together. I'd like to ask your opinion. The Soul Clan leader shook his head. Since they've been living here for so many years, and the Celestial Fox clan knows of their existence, with both sides coexisting peacefully, this old one thinks it's best not to disturb them. Our groups don't communicate with each other and have no relationship. It's like the various sects within the human race. Although they're all human, they don't necessarily get along harmoniously. So I think if we bring them to Dao Speech City together, they might not agree. Even if they agree, they might not get along harmoniously with us. Lin Moyu listened to the Soul Clan leader's explanation and nodded slightly. I understand your concerns. Although they were all soul spirit progenitor beasts, they were different groups after all, and indeed might not be able to get along harmoniously. The Soul Clan leader said, moreover, we carry causality. If any conflicts arise between us, it might affect Dao Speech City. Lin Moyu had originally wanted to take away the soul spirit progenitor beasts, not only for Little Five sake but also because they could bring some benefits to Dao Speech City. If so, then naturally the more soul spirit progenitor beasts, the better. Now it seemed he had thought too much. Since that was the case, there was no need to bother. Lin Moyu went to the Lufan Chamber of Commerce to inquire about the movements of the hurricane warships. The 2 hurricane warship would arrive at Nine-Tailed City in about 20 days, then depart from Nine-Tailed City, crossing the northern continent to head towards the eastern continent. The 4 hurricane warship would arrive at Nine-Tailed City in 5 days, departing from Nine-Tailed City to head towards the western continent. Originally, Lin Moyu had planned to take the 4 hurricane warship from Nine-Tailed City to the western continent. But now that was clearly not possible. The 4 hurricane warships' route would first arrive at the 100 Herbs Alliance's territory in the western continent. This way, Lin Moyu would essentially be telling Elder Withering Flourish, I've arrived, you can come kill me now. So Lin Moyu would take the 2 hurricane warship to return to the eastern continent. Then from the eastern continent, he would take the 3 hurricane warship, crossing the east and west ends of the Realm Sea to head towards the western continent. The No. 3 Hurricane warship's stop was in the southern region of the western continent, in Buddhist clan territory. Then he would cross through the entire Buddhist territory, heading north, with the final destination being Dragon clan territory. This also coincided with the direction Lin Moyu needed to go to find the Netherworld clan. Since that's the case, I'll let you play for a few more days. After that, it's time to suffer a bit. Lin Moyu revealed a mischievous smile. He was looking forward to seeing those girls' reactions when the time came. Nine-Tailed City was too big, with too many fun things. The three girls led by Little Mist had been playing wildly for 20 days. Until the No. 2 Hurricane warship appeared outside Nine-Tailed City, Lin Moyu called them back. On the day Lin Moyu left, Sumo personally led people to see them off, and also gave Little Mist and the other two girls each a storage ring. The rings contained countless fun things from Nine-Tailed City, as well as a large amount of Nine-Tailed City delicacies. They weren't particularly precious items, but represented their heartfelt sentiments. Sumo bowed to Lin Moyu. "You're welcome to come play in Nine-Tailed City anytime, Mr. Lin. You are our most honored guest. That palace of yours will only be open to you from now on." Lin Moyu smiled and said, "Clan leader is too kind. Nine-Tailed City is wonderful. If I have the chance in the future, I will certainly come." Little Mist also chimed in, "Nine-Tailed City is so much fun. I want to come play again in the future." Under the watchful eyes of Sumo and the others, Lin Moyu left Nine-Tailed City and boarded the No. 2 Hurricane warship. At the bow of the Hurricane warship, a member of the Lu family had been waiting for a long time. As soon as Lin Moyu arrived, he immediately bowed to Lin Moyu. "Greetings, Mr. Lin. I am Lu Wanshui, the manager of this No. 2 Hurricane warship. We have already arranged a room for Mr. Lin. Please follow me."